Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Bandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityananda, I offer my humble obeisance, my humble pranam at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I welcome each and every one of you who is joining us for this program today. I welcome each and every one of you who is joining us from all over the world, from Kailasas across the world, the spiritual de facto embassies, from the various different Devalayas, the Annalayas, Goshalas, Gurukuls, all of the celebrated Kailashans and e-Kailashans across the world. And I welcome each and every one of you who is joining us from the different social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and as well all the various social media platforms. And I welcome each and every one of you who's joining us from wherever you are at this time, from whichever time zone, from whichever language. Each and every one of you is welcome for today's most special darshan on the occasion of Arudra Darshan. We are each and every one celebrating the cosmic dance of Paramashiva with none other than the incarnation of Paramashiva himself, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today is a day when we all over the world, in Kailasas across the world, celebrate the Suprabhatam for the Devas, where all of the Devas are gathering and offering the Abhisheka, the first ritual of the morning, for Bhagavan Nataraja, the Lord of dance. And for millions of people all over the world, the Lord who is eternally dancing in their hearts. Bhagavan Sri Nataraja, on this very occasion, has the Abhishekam and then has a procession around the town of Chidambaram, where he is literally dancing for every single person. Now, in just a few short hours today, we are going to be having the darshan of the incarnation of Paramashiva in the bhava of Nataraja, with Nataraja expressing through him. All over the world, I'm sure that Kailashians are excitedly gathering and awaiting this most special treat, this spiritual feast, where you'll literally be able to feel the ecstatic energy of Bhagavan Sri Nataraja. And from the morning until now, the whole universe is literally celebrating, watching the divine dance, the cosmic dance, the dance of bliss, the Ananda Tandava of Nataraja. Now we are going to be literally experiencing that, and I invite you to come and get ready for that most exciting darshan. Become prepared for it spiritually, clear your inner space, and imbibe the powerful cognitions of Bhagavan Sri Nataraja. Understand the Leela of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, expressing the form of Nataraja and expressing the energy, the tattva, the mukti tattva of Nataraja, the liberating principle of Nataraja, and imbibe that to live for yourself. Let after today become a cosmic dance for you, and you deeply feel the connection and oneness with Bhagavan Sri Nataraja. Bhagavan Nataraja performs a dance for which the rishis and the sages perform severe penance for many years to witness. And because to witness this dance is to experience the oneness with the cosmos itself. Paramashiva performs many leelas, and each action of the divine, there's 5 actions, becomes an independent energy. You connect with that energy, he gives you the same blessing. And the very form of Nataraja is from the face of the Ishana face, the liberating face of Paramashiva. Paramashiva has 5 faces, and each face is a different aspect, a different action that Paramashiva conducts. And each action of the divine becomes an independent existence, a divine energy. Paramashiva danced for the sake of Patanjali and showed the cosmic dance that becomes Nataraja, the form of Shiva, an independent energy. Today, meditate on Nataraja and you will have the extraordinary spiritual experiences. Nataraja is the Lord of spiritual experiences, and any yogic spiritual experience you want, meditate on Nataraja. When you celebrate, he celebrates through you. When the microcosm dances, the macrocosm joins. And when you do the Natana, the dance of Nataraja, he simply joins you and manifests through you. The Ananda Tandava, the bliss dance of Nataraja, manifested from the Ishana face and the Ishana face in the space of Paramashiva. All the 4 of the faces are Satyojata, Vamadeva, Agora, Tatpurusha, and the 5th face is Ishana face. They are phases and faces of Paramashiva. And the Ishana face is the face, and the space. It is all 3. And nakshatras are the stellar constellations, excuse me, which have immense impact on life on planet Earth. And during the movement of the moon, when the moon resides in sync with a specific constellation, it makes that constellation's impact an experience in the life on planet Earth. So that is a little bit about how nakshatras work according to the science of Vedic astrology, which is time-tested and verified in many, many different instances. And today, as we are celebrating the Arudra Darshanam, this is a specific nakshatra that literally had aligned and had been witnessed as Nataraja was dancing. So when the moon is in sync with a specific nakshatra, we call that day to be having that nakshatra. And nakshatras have one or more devata or adi devata or pratyatya devata associated to them. Pratyadi devata, sorry. And the devata for the nakshatra of Arudra is Paramashiva. And today is Arudra nakshatra. Every year in the Dhanur Masa, Arudra nakshatra, we celebrate the dancing form of Paramashiva vis-a-vis the Nataraja form, the king of dance, Mahadeva himself. Arudra Nakshatra is almost synonymous to Nataraja, and connecting with Nataraja on the day of Arudra will give full benefit or result of the worship or prayer done to him. Arudra is the most compassionate, blissful expression of Bhagavan Paramashiva. And just for you to understand, the sun exists always. But if you want to see it, you need to open your eyes during the daytime on a clear sky day. And in the same way, Nataraja exists eternally. However, connecting to him on the day of the Arudra Nakshatra is the time, the best time, and the easiest way to experience him and his utmost grace. He literally is making himself available for you today in his most blissful dancing form. So now, before we're entering into the next segments of today's program, let us be introduced, just have a glimpse into the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, without whom today we would not be able to experience this spiritual feast. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, from the very birth itself, was recognized by esteemed enlightened beings and incarnations, as well as his own predecessors and gurus that were the most influential gurus in the spiritual field in the 21st century, in the 20th century. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has since the time made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based lifestyle as a lifestyle of practical teaching for millions around the world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient indigenous kingdoms. Today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasa Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, having revived the religious and socio-spiritual activities of the Madurai Adinam, as well as the temples that are associated to it, and declared as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvagnya Pitam by his Guru Parampara at the mere age of 16. You can see here a few photographs of the Guru Parampara, Yogananda Puri, Isaki Swamigal, and Mata Vibhudananda Puri, and founded the mission of Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally in the year 1999, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was just 21, and founded Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Pitam. And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism consecrating the land of Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Pitam, which was once a forest but is today a sprawling city, a city for enlightenment, and declared as the successor of the Bhagya Nagara Sripura Sarvagnya Pitam on the 1st of January 2004. And as well, the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam as well in 2004, and coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvagnya Pitam. And officially coronated as Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akada, the largest apex monastic order of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and it was the youngest Mahamandaleshwar at the age of 35 in 2013. And as well, the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvagnya Pitam, and coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam, and as well the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tiruvarur Adinam, the Vedaranyam Adinam, and the Panchanadikuram Adinam, which are all ancient indigenous kingdoms which had once ruled over and been sovereign states As well, the Supreme Court of Hinduism had been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam and the Adipita Kolada Mutt, one of the most ancient kingdoms of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And finally, the Supreme Court of Hinduism was elected with the title as the Supreme Court of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders in an event called the Atirudra Mahayaga in 2015. Today, the Supreme Court of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, viewed guru in the digital world, with read and watched by more than 1 billion followers in Hinduism. And as well, the Supreme Court of Hinduism is leading the world's greatest Hindu nation with over 1 billion views across different social media platforms, and served over 27 years of tireless hard work and humanitarian services and initiatives, including free food bank, as well as medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, peace and sustainable Hindu practices as well. And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, and translated that into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. You can have access to this gold mine of spiritual knowledge at www.books.nithyananda.org, available absolutely for free for anyone to download, to read, and to explore, to have access to this huge amount of spiritual knowledge available absolutely no cost. And today, with over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded. And as well, established the largest Hindu university, the Kailasa Nithyananda Hindu University, and the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. As you can see here, the Supreme Court of Hinduism, with the palm leaf scriptures, and over 10,000 hours of discourses, and over 1 billion views on social media. And respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures, such as the Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, and the Jain Sutras. And honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader, who is today recognized for his immense amount of hard work, bringing the Vedic sciences and reviving the Vedic sciences for the good of humanity today, with recognition from the United States Senate, as well as the United States House of Representatives, as well as several other dignitaries and government officials from across the world. And acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. And reviver of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Court of Hinduism, and the Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns in the Hindu diaspora who are working globally for world peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. And the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world, with satellite campuses in 150 countries, serving millions of people across the world with the ultimate spiritual knowledge in an applicable, most user-friendly way, and as well revived and established over 1,000 enlightenment ecosystems, which are continuously catering to the Hindu diaspora, as well as those who are interested in Hinduism, who are curious towards Hinduism, in order to bring the solutions of Sanatana Hindu Dharma to fix and address the modern day problems. And as well, the Supreme Court of Hinduism has revived over 100 Sarvagnapitas, the enlightenment ecosystems from the ancient history of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and continued their unbroken lineage and their ritual until today. With this, it brings us to a conclusion of the glimpse inside the life of the avatar. Today, during this program, we will be understanding from example the life of the avatar, how never you need to feel stuck in your life again. And just taking from the example of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how you can literally manifest the Mukti Tattva, the liberating principle, and express the cosmic dance. Today, we are having such an exciting program, and I hope each and every one of you is getting ready, getting settled for just the next 4 hours. Completely dedicate yourself to imbibing these spiritual cognitions, understanding from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly, the powerful cognitions behind the happening of Nataraja, and and always ensure that you are imbibing, listening, internalizing continuously, and getting ready for the darshan and diksha of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, manifesting Bhagavan Sri Nataraja. With this, we'll now be moving on into the next segment of today's program after a quick break.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Ananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam, we welcome all the devotees and the disciples who are watching us live from the YouTube Live, Nithyananda TV and many other social media platforms for today's Parashakti's Akashic reading. And now we'll be entering into the next segment of the day, which is the Power Manifestation session, manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. Today, as part of the Arudra Darshan, the Nataraja celebration, where we're going to be having and receiving Swamiji in the form of Nataraja, having the cosmic dance, where he is going to manifest himself and giving the Bhava Samaya Darshan to all of us. So now, we'll be having the Power Manifestation segment. Let us all look into that, which is manifesting the powers of third eye, seeing, reading, playing with your eyes blindfolded. Today, the Balasans of Nityananda Yogis, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will now be demonstrating the powers of third eye and sharing with all the experience and results of the extraordinary manifestation of the divine powers which is awakened in us through Diksha initiation. In today's Bhavasmaya Darshan, all of us will be receiving the initiation into third eye awakening along with many other spiritual sciences through Diksha. We'll be manifesting the following powers, which is the third eye, seeing with your eyes blindfolded. Third eye is a cosmic browsing center which is located between your brows, which upon initiation, one can effortlessly express powers and see through the third eye just as you do with your two eyes. So, what are Shaktis? In the Vedagamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest the 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis that Shaktis are described as a system, method, and science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine. You need to manifest divine, and not you are man, you need to reach divine. Now, let us learn. Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Rejuvenation through Baba, pulling out a delusion, Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all living entities. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is an 1008th living incarnation and representative of Paramashiva and the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been the cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced science. It was where the science of enlightenment powers, Shaktis, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at record-breaking pace, never accomplished before. The knowledge and science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through Diksha, initiation by the enlightened Gurus. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiation and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra and Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, Science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Paramashiva and Paramashivignana. So, how to awaken the divine Shaktis in us? Every ultimate truth, which is a jnana, mapped into your consciousness, prajna, manifests as a possibility and power of every being, prajnana. Now let us watch the short video, what is Diksha, which is getting initiated from the avatar to the disciple. The science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidence which are called pramana. The Shastra Pramana, which are the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. Apta Pramana, which are the experience and results of Aptas, or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified the science. Atma Pramana, which are the account of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, which are called the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. Vedas are the ultimate superior authorities for Hindus. Vedas are the pure science, the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, which are called the Vedagamas, are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. A reference cited from the Shastra source scriptures is called Shastra Pramana. Let us get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. We have the scriptural reference now to manifest the powers of third eye, which is going to be recited. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishthanmilitalochanaha kramena manaso dadyat lakshayed lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by the stability of the mind and inner space through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, by having vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva. Apta Pramana, which is in Hindu Purana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna under the power of third eye to behold Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which contains Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through his third eye. Atma Pramana, which is in Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degrees, 10 directions, below me, everything. I realized not only was able to see, I was able to feel, experience all of that as me. Pratyaksha Pramana, which are called as study measures and comparing metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative states. When you are doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located. When you are in the deep samadhi state, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the brain is rest at peace. Sakshi Pramana, which are called this rare sacred science of third eye awakening, is being made available to the humanity for the ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Swamiji embodies the most profound yogic state that surpasses all bounds of time, space, and matter. Swamiji is gifting this pure great science of third eye awakening along with many other spiritual sciences through initiation Diksha. Millions of people have been initiated by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and are experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday life. Let us now get ready to witness a live Sakshi Pramana, which is a demonstration of the power of third eye with the Balasans and Nityananda yogis. Now we'll be entering to the power manifestation segment, which is a manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. Let us all connect ourselves in the space of oneness with Swamiji, having the simple cognition. Paramashiva is real, the simple obedience to the Master. That Swamiji is manifesting in all of our lives. Today, in the auspicious day of Nataraja, where Swamiji is going to be given the Bhavasmaya Darshan of Nataraja himself, he is going to come down as Nataraja and given the boon and blessings to all of us. So let us all connect ourselves by remembering Swamiji in the form of Nataraja and manifest the power. Before entering to this manifestation, let us all watch the short oneness capsule of remembering Swamiji by chanting the Mahavakya continuously while watching the oneness capsule.
भजन करो नित्य नामं मधुरं 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 ध्यान करो भगवान नित्य नादं 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 भजन करो नित्य नामं मधुरं भजन करो नित्य नामं मधुरम् आनन्द निलयं प्रेम अमृतम् आनन्द निलयं प्रेम अमृतम् आनन्द निलयं प्रेम अमृतम् आनन्द निलयं प्रेम अमृतम् ध्यान करो मन मधुरं मधुरं 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 भवभयहरणं नित्यपुरीवासं भवभयहरणं नित्यपुरीवासं भवभयहरणं नित्यपुरीवासं भवभयहरणं नित्यपुरीवासं भजन करो नित्य नामं मधुरं भजन करो नित्य नामं मधुरं ध्यान करो भगवान नित्य नादम्
Now, let us all enter to the power manifestation segment, manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. Let us all chant the Mahavakya for some time. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Everything related to the body. First. Everything related to the body and mind will be colorful and alive now. The spiritual consciousness related things will not seem interesting or alive. All the time of death, when all these fantasies disappear, everything related to the grass, body, and mind will become dead. Black and white and everything related to the subtle consciousness, like the master and the meditation, will become colorful and alive. When I work on your samskaras, you may think I have my vested interest of fear or greed. Be very clear. When you think this of me, you are only projecting the fear and greed that you have onto me and think that I have these. Enlightened masters are such, don't have any fear or greed. I work on your engrams because you represent me thousands of times in thousands of births. So these are the two posts where we have just witnessed the Sakshi Pramana, the live demonstration of this power of third eye. With this, we come to the conclusion of today's power manifestation segment. Stay tuned for the next session after the short break. Today, as we all going to experience Nataraja, experiencing the form cosmic dance of Nataraja himself. Stay tuned for the next session after the short break. Thank you, Nityananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, welcome back to all of the viewers to Kailasa. One of you to view, and it's still available if you'd like to go back and see the darshan of Nataraja and the Alankaram, the Aarti, the rituals which took place this morning. Now, in just a few short hours, we, each and every one of us, will be graced with none other than the Nijavatara and the darshan of Nataraja in the human form, living, breathing, ecstatic energy of Nataraja. Who is Nataraja? What is the principles which he embodies? Now, let us journey into understanding who is Nataraja. Bhagavan Nataraja. He is the most supreme, graceful manifestation of Paramashiva, and his dance is the phenomenon that cuts across multiple dimensions of this cosmos. It is literally representative of the Big Bang itself, the creation of the whole universe, and symbolizes the entire universe. It is a dance for which rishis and sages do lifetimes upon lifetimes of tapas, of penance, in order to just have one glimpse of that ecstatic state. Each action of the divine becomes an independent existence of divine energy. And Paramashiva danced for the sake of Patanjali and showed the cosmic dance that becomes the Nataraja, the form of Shiva, which is that independent energy. And Paramashiva performs multiple leelas, and each action or divine energy performs becomes an independent activity. And if you connect with that energy, he gives you the same blessing. Today, we are going to be having the darshan of Bhagavan Nataraja, who manifested from the Ishana face. Ishana, the face of liberation, the phase and space of liberation of Paramashiva, from which Bhagavan Sri Nataraja manifested. And Nataraja, in one hand the Damaru, in one hand the fire, one hand the Abhaya Mudra, and in the other the Dola Mudra, and then the feet which are pointed towards upwards. Each one of these symbolizes a different action of the whole existence, the Panchakritya. What are these Panchakritya? Srishti, creation; Sthiti, sustenance; Samhara, rejuvenation; Prabhava, putting into delusion; and Anugraha, liberation. Each one of these Panchakritya is represented by a different mudra which Nataraja is holding, a different aspect of Nataraja. To begin with, Srishti. In his right hand, Bhagavan Sri Nataraja holds the Damaru. The Damaru is the rattle drum that he plays, and he performs a cosmic action of Srishti, creation or manifestation, manifesting the principles of creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. And actually, the sound that the Damaru creates, a very intense rattle that the Damaru creates, is symbolic of the creation of the whole universe. This is something that is actually recognized even by CERN, the International Scientific Institution in Switzerland, where they have recognized this, and they even have the deity of Nataraja in their in that land where they are having their facilities. The Damaru creates the sound, and that sound is what Vedic rishis and the scientists of our Vedic civilization understood as the beginning of the whole universe. Yes. The next Panchakritya. The next Panchakritya is the Sthiti, the creation. With the Abhaya Hasta, the hand showing protection and blessing, he performs Sthiti, sustenance. And through this other hand, he is sustaining. He is not just sustaining what is created, but sustaining each and every one of the principles of creation, sustenance, destruction, liberation, and putting into delusion. This Abhaya Mudra is literally his Abhaya is just saying that he will take care. But Swamiji beautifully tells that the Abhaya, when he says, I give you them Abhaya, he is ensuring that he will take care.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. So Sthiti is that ultimate guardian, that protection that Bhagavan Nataraja gives us with his Abhaya Mudra. The next is the fire, the destruction, or the symbol of rejuvenation, samhara. With the Agni, the fire, in one hand, Nataraja rejuvenates the cosmos, performing the action of samhara, or rejuvenation, with fire being the ultimate, timeless symbol of complete destruction and rejuvenation. Again, Nataraja holds this in his hand in order to symbolize that it is literally in his own power. Even he holds this and wields this as a power, the power of rejuvenation and acting out rejuvenation, acting out the necessity for rejuvenation. Whenever the time comes that things need to be moved out and space for new things and new evolution needs to happen. First, the destruction needs to happen of the old. So Nataraja wields the fire in his hands in order to symbolize wielding the power of destruction and the action, the Pachakritya of samhara. The next is the foot which is on the Rakshasa, Apasmasura. With this right foot firm on the demon named Apasmasura, who represents forgetfulness, Nataraja performs the action of Throbhava, pulling the beings out of delusion. So Apasmasura depicts and is representative of the forgetfulness that each and every one of us has, continuously forgetting, birth after birth, even sometimes day after day, after year, we continuously forget the past, forget our purpose in life. And we are forgetting the very reason why we took this birth, forgetting and getting deluded into fear and greed. And due to this, we go birth after birth, suffering the Bhavaroga, the cycle of birth and death, continuously forgetting. Nataraja lays his foot on Apasmasura and he ultimately symbolizes pulling out all of the beings, each and every one of us, removing that aspect and removing the effect of Apasmasura on each and every one of us. And then finally, the final Panchakritya is represented by Nataraja's lifted foot. The foot which is lifted represents the Anugraha, liberation. Bhagavan Sri Nataraja showing us the way to liberation. He gives us the Anugraha, gives us the experience with oneness with him. And the leg which is thrown out is giving liberation to the principles of creation, sustenance, pulling out of delusion, and liberation to liberation itself. In this lifted foot, he is just simply dancing, and this lifted foot is the pose, and the out of just his ecstasy, he lifts his foot, he jumps, he twirls, and in this ecstasy, he is liberating each and every one of us. Thus, the Panchakritya of Nataraja is symbolized in each and every one of his mudras and his aspects.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. Welcome back. Now we just understood, each and every one of us, the symbol of Nataraja, each and every mudra, each aspect of Nataraja, how it fulfills the Panchakritya, the 5 actions. And in just that cosmic dance, in the bliss of the existence itself, each and everything happens. That is the beauty of Nataraja, that he is representing, manifesting this whole universe, rejuvenating this whole universe, sustaining this whole universe, and pulling out of delusion and liberating this whole universe in the ultimate bliss, the cosmic dance. That is the significance, that is the ultimate principle of Nataraja, the bliss, the dance, and ultimately the Mukti Tattva, the liberating principle. Many of us all over the world can have the darshan today of Bhagavan Nataraja and simply connect in order to manifest that same existential bliss in every aspect of our life. Nataraja represents a very, very unique ecstasy where whatever happens, no matter what comes in the way, he is simply blissfully dancing, never stopping, never caring about or bothering about what he looks like or how people are seeing or anything like that. It is just an ecstasy, a sheer form of expression. And that is the very thing that makes everyone just sit still and watch without a word, literally being sucked into that same space of ecstasy. All over the world today, 80% of people have been negatively impacted by the last year, with many struggling financially, 29% of us, and suffering from declining health, 28% of us, and lacking career motivation, 25% of us, and feeling disconnected from their own lives, 23% of us. These are millions. These numbers represent millions of people all over the world, struggling financially, suffering from mental health issues, lacking career motivation, just feeling disconnected from their lives, feeling extremely impossible at this time, and feeling everything is some kind of blockage manifesting in their lives. And this has shown up in several different ways over the course of the last 2 years. Let's take a look at the world today, what we are seeing, and understand that we're not the only ones going through what we are going through right now. Each and every one of us is going through, even though we might be isolated from each other, or we might be living in our homes separate from each other, still we are going through, each and every one of us, very much a similar story. Many of us are seeing how there's a difficulty in getting food and housing. There's over 1 in 3 children in the renter households who face food and housing hardships. And here you're seeing a graph of the children in households that don't get enough to eat, are not caught up on rent, or their owners are not caught up on rent. Both of these or either of these. And these are showing that 22% of children are not getting enough to eat, 25% is not caught up on rent, and 10% is both. So we're seeing that this, just at this time, not having enough to eat even, and facing house hardships are also a part of where each and every one of us are struggling. And also, we're seeing a huge drop. Literally, you're able to see that from 158,000 jobs. Oops, sorry. So we're also seeing there's an inability to pay rent or mortgage. 1 in 6 renters not caught up on rent during the pandemic, with renters of color facing great hardship. So we can see here the share of adult buyers who are saying that households are not caught up on rent, and this is also shows the intersectional ways which the economic crisis and the COVID pandemic are meeting. We're also seeing here the total job losses from December 2007 to September 2021. And you can see a huge drop right in that 2-year period that we're facing now of the job losses that occurred in the last 1 year. And another thing many of us are facing is loneliness. You're seeing here a graph of the amount people are feeling lonely in the United Kingdom. Yes. So whether it is in our financial career, academic career, whether it is in our mental health, or if we are just not feeling connected, feeling depression or anxiety, feeling a low mood, even feeling lethargy or tiredness more and more frequently, all of this has been going on for the last 2 years for each and every one of us. No matter where, in many of our different aspects of our lives, we are feeling stuck and not being able to move past certain blockages. But this is what Nataraja exactly represents, as to completely go beyond. Nataraja represents no matter the hindrances that come in your way, you can simply just continue the dance, just continue the ecstasy, be absolutely integrated to that space of Nataraja, that oneness with Nataraja, and you will see how it manifests. Literally, the world turns and aligns so that it can manifest for you. And beautifully, Swamiji gives the example of just how when Nataraja dances in that ecstasy, one of his anklet drops from his ankle. The salanga, it actually falls off. And at that time, he does not care. He does not care that the jewel fell off and he needs to go and retrieve it. Simply, he continues dancing, and Adishesha himself comes and wraps it around his ankle and acts as that the ankle for Nataraja. That's why in the deity you'll see the snake tied around his calf, which is the ankle, and you'll be able to see that is representative of Adishesha, who tied himself around Nataraja's leg when the anklet had fallen off. Just like this, if we continue our dance, if we continue to remain integrated, no matter what, to the ecstasy-filled space, no matter what comes in our way, we'll see literally the whole world moves. Whatever happens, and existence orchestrates the whole happening such that it is happening according to what we want, and how the reality that we want to manifest happens exactly as we wanted it. Just in order for him to continue to dance, for Bhagavan Nataraja to continue to dance, Adishesha comes and ties himself around his Nataraja's ankle. And this is exactly how each and every one of us can experience our reality, manifesting our reality as we want it today, with the divine darshan of Bhagavan Sri Nataraja. We can manifest the oneness with Nataraja, and simply we will see how we'll be able to manifest the exact things to happen in our life.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution.
Nityanandam. Welcome back, dear viewers. So now let us enter into this next segment and understand a little bit more about Nataraja and the science behind Nataraja, the science behind the Chidambaram temple, where Nataraja did his cosmic dance. So the Nataraja temple in Chidambaram is also referred as the Tillai Nataraja temple. The present temple was built in the 10th century. This temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva, Paramashiva himself. This ancient temple has gone through numerous renovations during the rule of different dynasties, like the Pandyas, the Cholas, the Pallavas, and the Cheras, which is visible today in the structure reconstructed in the 12th and 13th century. This temple complex is spread over 50 acres in the heart of the city of Chidambaram, Tamil Nadu, India. And this temple is the Panchabhuta Sthala. The Chidambaram is one of the Panchabhuta Sthalas where Bhagavan Paramashiva is worshipped in his manifestation as the sky, or the Agamya, the Pancha, meaning the 5 bhutas, meaning the elements, earth, water, fire, wind, space, and the Sthala, meaning location. So this temple, the Chidambaram temple, represents the sky dimension of the Panchabhutas, the Agamya. And in Chidambaram temple, a different form of Bhagavan Paramashiva is seen and inscribed on every single stone and pillar. It is built in about 106,000 square meters. So this is a massive temple, and it has many, many representations of Bhagavan Paramashiva. The temple roof is made out of 21,600 gold sheets, which denotes the 21,600 breaths taken by a human being every single day. So the calculation is about 15 breaths per minute times 15 breaths per every minute for 60 minutes, and multiply that times 24 hours. And these 21,600 gold sheets are fixed on the mana, the roof, and uses 72,000 gold nails, which denotes the total number of nadis, the nerves in the human body. And the Purnambalam is placed slightly tilted towards the left. This represents our heart. To reach this, we need to climb 5 steps called the Panchakshara Pati. And these are the mantras here. And there are 4 pillars holding the Kanaka Sabha, representing the 4 Vedas. You can see each aspect, each dimension of this temple is so precise, so planned, so scientific. Each has a meaning, a representation, and as well as the 28 methods to worship Bhagavan Paramashiva. These 28 pillars support 64 roof beams, which denotes the 64 arts, the 64 sacred arts that are in the Vedic tradition. And the cross beams represent the blood vessels running across the human body. So everything from the arts to the human body, the nerves in the human body, the vessels in the human body are represented in this temple. And the Chidambaram temple is based on the human having 9 entrances, denoting the 9 openings or the 9 entrances into the body. So the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, and so on. And this consists of 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the urethra, and the anus. And the temple architecture symbolizes the connection between the arts and spirituality, creative activity, and the divine. So in Hinduism, everything is related to worshiping the divine, spirituality, and experiencing that oneness with Paramashiva. So even the arts are always connected to the spirituality. So the temple wall carvings display all the 108 karanas, and from the Natya Shastra by Bharatamuni, and these postures form a foundation of the Bharatanatyam, a classical Hindu dance. The circumambulation paths in the shrines, the mandapas, the molded and the pilgrim hall pillars of the Nataraja temple are carved showing dancers and musicians. So this temple represents the arts, spirituality, as well as the very human body itself. It has so many meanings and depictions, and it's extremely scientific. It's very precise and has each aspect is very precisely planned. Each aspect has a great significance. And the Chidambaram temple is well endowed with several water bodies within and around the complex. The Chidambaram temple has many unique halls called sabhas. The Nitya Sabha, the hall of dance, the Raja Sabha, the 1,000 pillar hall, and the Shtalas Sabha, 100 pillar hall. The Deva Sabha is called the Paramashivoham, the great hall. And let's look at some of the other architectural features of this temple. The temple has 5 courts. So we can go back to the previous slide, please. Yes. The temple has 5 courts, and each of these have been rebuilt as the Paramashiva temple at the Chidambaram, in Chidambaram, around 1213 AD, and also they have been built in Tiruvannamalai, the very birthplace of the Avatar himself, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And this temple has been traditionally administered by an endogamous group of Shaivite Brahmins called the Dikshitars, who also officiate as its priests. So this is a very sacred, ancient tradition, the Dikshitars. So we'll learn a little bit more about them. So let's understand a little bit about the enlightenment ecosystem of the Chidambaram temple. So, who are the Dikshitars, the priests? The Chidambaram temple, from its inception, was administered by a community of Brahmins known as the Bodu Dikshitars. These Brahmins are found only in the Chidambaram temple and the ancient town of Chola Kingdom, which has been their domicile for more than 20 centuries. So it's a very ancient tradition that still exists today. The Dikshitars still take care of the temple today. So now we're going to understand a little bit about how the Dikshitars have also been persecuted and how the government has tried to take over the temple. But fortunately, the Dikshitars have won the case in the Supreme Court itself. Article 26 of the Indian Constitution protects the religious and administrative rights of religious dominations or sections thereof. So fortunately, the Dikshitars were able to maintain control of the temple and still continue to administer the temple today. And for the Bodu Dikshitars, it was their second victory in the Supreme Court, ironically on the same issue, when the Madras government tried to take over the Chidambaram temple in 1951 through a notification. So unfortunately, this is not the first time that the Dikshitars have faced this kind of attack, but fortunately they were able to win, and unlike many temples today. And the said notification was quashed by the Honorable Division Bench of the Madras High Court by a judgment dated on the 13th of December 1951. And the division bench, the inter alia, observed, "We are satisfied that the order on which the notification was issued is without any foundation and proceeded on a total misconception of the facts." And the division of the Honorable High Court of Madras held that it could be asserted that the Podu Dikshitars of the Chidambaram form and constitute a religious denomination. It is also held that the Podu Dikshitars, in whom the management of the temple is vested, are both the managers and the archakas, as they have a substantial beneficial interest in the income of the temple. So they manage the temple as well as they are the priests in the temple. And the procedure to notify this temple encroached upon the rights of Dikshitars to manage the property belonging to the denomination. And the government appealed to the Supreme Court, challenging these and other findings, but a constitutional bench of the Supreme Court dismissed this appeal. Thus, the denominational nature of the Podu Dikshitars and the Chidambaram temple was decided in favor of the Podu Dikshitars. So this is one of the cases in which the community itself has won. Unfortunately, many times the temple communities have lost the rule over the temples, but in this case, the Podu Dikshitars were able to continue managing and controlling the temple activities and properties. So now let's understand a little bit more about how Nataraja is considered one of the most scientific representations of the cosmos. The Nataraja statue, the Paramashiva statue in Geneva, represents the cosmos itself. CERN represents the, we can go back to the previous slide, please. So CERN represents 7,900 scientists from over 608 universities and 113 nations. So this is one of the largest scientific institutes in the world that studies cosmology. And on June 18, 2004, Nataraja deity was installed in CERN, which is 2 meters tall and was made in India. This murti is located permanently between the building 39 and 40, close to the main building. The CERN European Center for Research in Physics and Particle Physics has established the 2-meter height Shiva statue, the Paramashiva statue of Nataraja, and the Indian government donated the murti as a relation with the CERN lab. The reason for establishing the state is mainly 2 simple reasons: spiritual and scientific. So let's understand a little bit about this. India is one of CERN's observer states, and it represents the multiculturalism with scientists across the globe. And Dr. Capra scientifically has connected the rhythmic pulsation of a subatomic particle with the cosmic dance of Bhagavan Paramashiva as Nataraja. And he asserts every subatomic particle that not only performs an energy dance, but also is an energy dance, a pulsating process of creation, destruction without ending. So the cosmic subatomic particle, excuse me, the subatomic particle is represented by Nataraja, just as the cosmos is represented by Nataraja. So the Brahmanda and the Pindanda, Nataraja represents both. And Bhagavan Nataraja's big toe is the center point of the world's magnetic equator. After 8 years of research and development, Western scientists have proven that at Lord Nataraja's big toe is the center point of the world's magnetic equator. And this is speaking of the Nataraja in Chidambaram. And the great Siddhar Tirumular has proved his 5,000 years, that has proven this 5,000 years ago. And the temple was inaugurated on, so let's look at some of the Natarajas within the Kailasas across the globe. As Nataraja is one of the most significant forms of Paramashiva, which all across the globe we worship in Kailasa. So let's look at the Kailasa in Seattle, in the Sarvanyapita Kailasa in Seattle. This temple was inaugurated on the 24th of February 2008 with the mission of bringing super conscious breakthrough to the community around the Pacific Northwest in the United States. And this temple is home to the world's largest Nataraja, the world's largest Nataraja outside of India. And this is also the world's largest Nataraja in the Panchalokas, the 5 medals, and stands 12 feet tall and holds the divine temple, the space, the Chidambaram of the Ananda Nataraja, the dancing Shiva. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has personally inaugurated this Nataraja and has actually personally made this Nataraja, has molded this Nataraja. So it has great significance and is blessed with the very energy of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has described, if you are connected to any one of our temples, all of our temples, temple deities are infused with the intense oneness energy, especially the Nataraja in Seattle. Even while carving, I infused oneness into it. It was done physically by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And working on it, understanding, so the action that's applied on that deity will radiate the cosmetic, electromagnetic energy of oneness. And when again, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues on. When I opened the 3 eyes of the Ohio Paramashiva deity, I just saw all his 3 eyes opened and he was smiling at me. The same way when I made the wax mold of Nataraja in Seattle, I could see it was not wax, it was just oneness. The lump of oneness of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as described. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues on. Understand all of our temple deities are radiating this electromagnetic energy of oneness. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has explained this on the 28th of November, 2018. Yes. So now we'll be entering into the next segment, understanding the Mukti Tattva of Nataraja. So we'll be right back after a very short break.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intently. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
On this extremely significant day, the day when the first Abhishekam to Bhagavan Nataraja happens in the Swargaloka, in the Devaloka, we have Bhagavan Nataraja himself coming and blessing us in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. I don't know what punya we have all done to have the Arudra Darshan of Bhagavan Nataraja, the Pratyaksha Darshan of Bhagavan Nataraja on this very auspicious day. Maybe Janmas and Janmas of prayer and longing and yearning has brought us to this day in history. To this day in our life that we are all blessed and going to be blessed with the darshan of the Ananda Tandava of Bhagavan Nataraja on this extremely significant and auspicious day of Arudra Darshan. As we saw about the form of Nataraja, what Nataraja signifies in the Ananda Tandava, in the cosmic dance of Bhagavan Nataraja, Bhagavan Nataraja performs the Panchakritya, Shrishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha, creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. And Nataraja comes out of the Ishana phase of Paramashiva. Paramashiva has 5 phases: Satyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Purusha, and Ishana. The Ishana being the liberating phase, the liberating phase, and the liberating space of Paramashiva. Nataraja comes out of the liberation, the liberating phase of Paramashiva. So, just having the darshan of Nataraja, holding on to his feet and praying for the ultimate liberation. That is why Nataraja signifies the Mukti Tattva. And for Paramashiva to perform the 4 of the 5 Panchakrityas, the 4 actions of creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, Bhagavan Nataraja can do it in his formless form, in his Divya Sharira, in the space of superconsciousness. But for Nataraja to liberate us, for the ultimate liberation to happen, anugraha to happen, he has to come down in a human body and as a guru, bless us all and liberate us all. So today, literally, Bhagavan Nataraja is happening again on the planet Earth, coming down from Kailasa, manifesting through the Nijavatara, the physical embodied form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to liberate us all. On this day, where the Nataraja, the very energy and the face and the space of Nataraja is abundantly available for us to connect with, for us to experience. So on this very day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, out of his aparimitaya kripaya, out of his extreme compassion, is blessing us all with the Arudra Darshan. So if you are watching this live, I invite each and every one of you to share this with all your friends, family, relatives, Sangha members. Let nobody miss the Arudra Darshana. The Darshana for which the sages and the rishis and the devas and the entire cosmos awaits to have that one glimpse of the Darshana of Bhagavan Nataraja. On this very day, inviting each and every one of you to experience the Arudra Darshana. In the next segment of today's program, we are going to be sharing with you about what does Nataraja signify. We can just go back to the previous slide. The Mukti Tattva of Nataraja. What does Nataraja signify? Nataraja, Bhagavan Nataraja, signifies the Mukti Tattva, the liberating principle. His very form liberates. What can we learn from Bhagavan Nataraja? What is the powerful cognition? When we have the darshan of Nataraja, Bhagavan Nataraja today, what can we learn? What does he signify? That is what we are going to see in this segment. And just this one segment can liberate us. Just understanding the tattva, the mukti tattva of Bhagavan Nataraja, you can experience the liberation. And ultimately comes Bhagavan Nataraja himself to liberate us all. Just having this click, having this shift in your inner space, just imbibing this powerful cognition. And if you really look into your life and understand and apply this powerful cognition and just sit for the darshan, this powerful cognition that we are learning intellectually becomes a part of our biomemory, muscle memory, and bioenergy. And you start manifesting, literally doing the Ananda Tandava, just like Bhagavan Nataraja in our lives as well. So now we are going to be understanding the Mukti Tattva of Bhagavan Nataraja. Now let us understand what is Jnana Pada. Jnana Pada means just by knowledge you are liberated. No rules are given, no practices are given, no techniques are given. It is literally an enlightenment for couch potatoes. Because just by listening, you don't have to do anything. Just by listening, you get liberated. So no methodology, no technique, no practice. Just listen and be liberated. So just by listening to the truths, you are liberated. That is Jnanapada. So we are now entering into that segment of the program where we are explaining to you about the Jnanapada, the Mukti Tattva of Bhagavan Nataraja. What is the cognition, powerful cognition that we can learn from Bhagavan Nataraja, the Ananda Tandava of Bhagavan Nataraja? Let us take a look. The very cosmic dance that Nataraja performs. When the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he reveals to us that either through devotion or through prayer, when it is internalized, all the three, the lifestyle, the devotion, the yoga, all the three automatically manifest spontaneously and simultaneously in us and through us. So how do we manifest the highest powerful cognitions and the highest truths? What is the principle for which Bhagavan Nataraja stands for, and what can we learn by looking at the cosmic dance of Bhagavan Nataraja? And as we are entering and sharing you about the powerful cognitions of Bhagavan Nataraja, we'll be right back with you after a very short break, and we invite each and every one of you to share this link, share the YouTube link or the Facebook link, however you're watching us live, to share it with all your friends, family, relatives, and the Sangha members, and ensure nobody misses even listening to the powerful cognitions, because listening to this and sitting for the darshan can really liberate us all. So we'll be right back.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Powerful cognitions when the Jnana Pada is internalized properly from the right guru. The Charya Pada, the lifestyle, the Kriya Pada, devotion, the Yoga Pada, the yogic manifestation. So beautifully happens. The beautiful verse from the Chidambara Stotram, it says, Kripa samudram sumukam trinetram jatadharam parvati vamabhagam sadashivam rudramanantarupam chidambaresham hridhi bhavayami. Such a beautiful verse describing the very beauty and the form of Bhagavan Nataraja. Let us see what it means. On this very auspicious day of the Arudra Darshan, where Bhagavan Nataraja received the Nataraja Abhishekam this morning, which is one of the 6 Abhishekams of the year, and this is the first Abhishekam of the day as per the Devaloka. On this very beautiful auspicious day, we are receiving this darshan. So let us now see the meaning of this verse. I meditate on that Lord of Chidambara, who is the ocean of mercy, who has a pleasant face, who has 3 eyes, who has matted locks, who keeps Parvati on his left side, who is ever peaceful, who is endless, and who is ferocious. Receiving the grace and the blessings of Bhagavan Raja, and just meditating on the beautiful form of Bhagavan Nataraja and experiencing his love, his gratitude, and experiencing his divine grace and experiencing his cosmic dance. And those of the viewers who are watching us on YouTube, you can comment in the YouTube live chat if you have any questions, and we invite each and every one of you to come and listen to the powerful cognitions that we are going to be sharing. What can we learn from Bhagavan Nataraja? Following the Supreme Wonderful Hinduism beautifully reveals the whole happening of the Ananda Tandava, the bliss dance of Bhagavan Nataraja. bliss dance signify? What can we learn from Bhagavan Nataraja? If we actually see how Bhagavan Nataraja dances, the Ananda Tandava, the beautiful bliss dance, he doesn't bother about anything. And the Nataraja, Bhagavan Nataraja, manifests from the Ishana face and the space of Paramashiva. Here we need to understand all the other four, which is the Satyajata, Vamadeva, Purusha, and Aghora. And all these four have only the face, which is Phase, and the face of Paramashiva. However, the Ishana, the Chidambara, the Nataraja Bhagavan, manifests from the face and the space of Paramashiva, because he represents the very space element. Like how there are various forms of Bhagavan Paramashiva, and each of these forms, for example, Arunachala, he represents the fire element. Like that, Bhagavan Nataraja represents the Chidambara, the space element of the cosmos. So what does Bhagavan Nataraja signify? The very Ananda Tandava of Bhagavan Nataraja. All the other four faces, Satyajata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Purusha, are the faces and the faces. Ishana is the one which has the face and the space of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Chidambara, that Paramashiva manifests from the Ishana space, is the liberating principle, the Mukti Tattva, the cosmic dance. The Mukti Tattva of Nataraja is the ultimate liberating principle. Let us now learn what is the Mukti Tattva after a very short break.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Welcome back. So the Mukti Tattva of Bhagavan Nataraja, let us see what is the Mukti Tattva, the ultimate liberating principle, listening to which itself we experience a great liberation in our lives. So what is the Mukti Tattva? Let us take a look at it now. Now when Bhagavan Nataraja, Paramashiva, dances, suddenly one anklet drops, but Nataraja doesn't feel stuck. He doesn't bother about the so-called perfection. He is an absolute perfectionist, but he doesn't stop the action. The anklet falling off does not stop Nataraja from dancing. It does not put him in inaction. You know, if you have lived with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, if you have had the blessing to be attending a kind of a retreat, or if you have even seen the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in such close quarters, what seems like an oxymoron, right? Here it says Bhagavan Nataraja doesn't bother about the anklet falling off, but he's an absolute perfectionist. He doesn't bother about perfection, but he's an absolute perfectionist. Means the perfection does not stop Nataraja from entering into inaction, or doesn't make Bhagavan Nataraja stop what he's doing. He continues to perform the cosmic dance and continues to be a perfectionist and continues to perfect and continues and continues and continues. That is what we need to learn from Bhagavan Nataraja. So Paramashiva continues to dance, and then Adi Sesha, the great snake bed of Bhagavan Mahavishnu, rushes and gets the blessing, makes himself as an anklet of Bhagavan Paramashiva. I'm sure Adi Sesha would have worshipped Paramashiva. Give me a chance to come and be your anklet. So Adi Sesha's prayer also gets fulfilled. He gets to be wound around the anklet of Bhagavan Nataraja as Nataraja performs the Ananda Tandava. The one point that we need to note here is Paramashiva continues to dance. The anklets just falling away as he is dancing does not stop Nataraja from dancing. And what does it signify? How does it apply to our lives, right? You may think, okay, if the anklet falls off, Bhagavan Nataraja is dancing. No, it is not just the anklet falls off. It is anything that we feel as an important ingredient for something to happen, even when that is missing. Bhagavan Nataraja continues to dance. So what can we learn from the Ananda Tandava of Bhagavan Nataraja? Yes, we have one of our YouTube viewers who is watching us live. Ma Saroj Aprush is saying, how fortunate for us to be so close to a living Guru who is Paramashiva himself. Absolutely, Ma, can't agree more. And we get to to see and experience, and many of these highest truths, the highest powerful cognitions, we are so easily able to understand because we are seeing Paramashiva in front of our eyes. We are seeing how Swamiji is living and how Swamiji is manifesting everything just through the Ananda Tandava. In Swamiji's own words, he says, I am an absolute perfectionist, but it will never stop me from starting my work. When I started the whole Sri Kailasa project, I did not even have my own land. People living around me know what a perfectionist I am. But it never stops me from venturing into new projects. And when you get to live around Swamiji notices everything. I was once in a class of 5,000 people. 5,000 people, Swamiji was conducting a 4-day meditation program. And there were 20 hall volunteers in the hall. Each of us were assigned to one segment of the hall to monitor the people to ensure that they are tying the right lines and they are doing the meditation. And as the meditation started, this was in one of the programs, a huge hall, and Swamiji is sitting on the stage, and the people are like 5,000 people are sitting there, and the meditation started. And then about 15-20 minutes into the meditation, Swamiji called one of the volunteers and he said, look there on the 20th row, there is a person who is not wearing an eye band properly. And there are 20 volunteers in the hall. None of us even noticed this. Swamiji sitting on the stage notices how one of the participants' eye band wasn't put properly for the meditation. Absolute perfectionist. There is nothing that can miss Swamiji's eyes. However, this perfectionism does not stop Swamiji from starting. How Swamiji started the whole mission, we are actually going to be sharing in the next segment of the program. First, we want to share with you the truth, the powerful cognition. So perfectionism, which does not make you feel stuck, is the liberating principle action. And as you're watching this, and all our viewers, I'm sure many of you have spent so much time with Swamiji, have attended retreats with Swamiji. What aspect of Swamiji that you relate with when Swamiji says, but I am an absolute perfectionist, but it does not stop me from taking action? You can comment in the YouTube live chat what aspect of Swamiji that you really relate with in this regard. Any particular incident that you noticed, you can comment in the YouTube live chat. One cannot see something more perfect than Paramashiva's Tandava. But when the anklet falls, he doesn't wait, he continues. The Supreme Pontiff powerfully explains to us, feeling stuck is the only sin in life, as Cosmos does not feel stuck, and that Cosmos manifests the state of perfectionism because its nature is not to be stuck, rather expanding and growing. Cosmos never feels stuck. It only expands and grows and expands and grows. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism tells us to have intense action in at least 10 projects. The Supreme Pontiff says, if you are feeling stuck in one project, go on with the other 9, and this feeling stuck will dissolve. This is an extremely powerful life solution that Swamiji is giving us. Any of us who are feeling stuck in any dimension of our life, let's say in terms of your career, you really want your career to go, you want to achieve well in your career, you want to have a breakthrough in your career, but somewhere you're feeling stuck, you don't know what to do. Don't just keep hitting at the roadblock. Take on 10 other projects and keep moving something. anything that you do, doesn't matter. It can be, okay, you are volunteering for Paramashiva, or you are going to the nearby temple and volunteering in the temple, or you are teaching to your children and you are doing some project with your children, or you are cooking in your house. Take on 10 other things, any 10 other things. When you do those things, automatically you will feel unstuck. So when you feel stuck in certain aspect, don't stop. Many of us feel frustrated. Many of us feel powerless. Many of us feel things are not in my hands. Many of us feel there are so many people who are interfering in my life and stopping me from doing what I'm doing. And so I am not able to achieve what I want to achieve. Understand, when you feel stuck, even in that aspect, and you're not able to progress further, just don't stop. Take on 10 other aspects, 10 other projects, and continue to do it. Paramashiva so beautifully observed, what it reveals. Its perfection is because the cosmos perfection is because it doesn't feel get stuck. Stop feeling stuck. If you are feeling stuck, intensify the dance. The feeling stuck will disappear. Oh my God! Every line that is revealed, you can literally see how Swamiji is living this principle day in and day out. And especially as a sannyasi of the sovereign order of Kailasa, and after living around the Supreme Pontiff for 10 plus years, that is one thing that you will see. Continuously multiple projects. Swamiji will just take on, and more and more and more and more and more and more projects, and continuously being active. And at one day, Swamiji would at least made 1,000 decisions in 100 different projects, giving visions to people and grooming the Bala sense in terms of sacred arts, in terms of temple, in terms of Gurukul, in terms of the training the sannyasis, in terms of going and teaching alankaram to the temple team, whether it is construction, in every aspect. Now Kailasa, in each and every aspect, the way Swamiji gets involved, and the way Swamiji might, and how Swamiji starts. We may not have anything. Actually, when you see the first, recorded public discourse of Swamiji or the public program of Swamiji, Swamiji will not even have a simhasan. There is no mic, there is nothing. But Swamiji would be teaching. People would be sitting. Swamiji doesn't wait for perfection. He doesn't wait for a camera and lights and a simhasan and the hall. No, wherever he is, he teaches. And that is how Swamiji has built the whole Kailasa. Today we have Kailasa as the Hindu nation. Swamiji single-handedly has revived the Hindu nation just through the cosmic dance, just by not stopping and just by continuously intense action and not getting stuck, feeling stuck. See, there are two things. One is you feel you're stuck. Second is you actually stop and you actually are stuck. So whenever you slow down the dance, slow down your action, whenever you reduce and, okay, just too much, I'm just feeling overwhelmed, I just need a break. And the so-called break you take, the feeling stuck will actually become stuck, and it is dangerous. Feeling stuck is delusion, being stuck is dangerous. So whenever you feel it is just too much, I feel too overwhelmed, it's just too overwhelming for me, I'm not able to handle it, this is just too much. This very thought current, which makes you feel stuck, puts you in delusion, and it actually makes you stop and reduce the pace of your action, and that is death. Whenever you slow down, you are going in a life negative direction. The Supreme Pontiff says, what is intensity? Intensity is the ability to hold higher visualizations, ability to intensely feel this truth, ability to intensely integrate your being. I want to do this. Do everything aligned to the goal that you have instead of feeling distracted here and there. This is what I want. Integrate your whole being. Let there not be components of you which do not align to this mission. Let there not be some component which rewards, which resists, which doesn't want to do. Integrate all parts of the being. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do to achieve this. So intensity is being able to intensely integrate all components of you. We have one of our YouTube viewers who has commented spiritual solutions saying, "Oh my God, thank you, Ma. I was waiting for this answer." Actually, what Nataraja signifies, every one of us. As I was reading through today's the program content, even I felt, oh my God, this is an answer every one of us need. And Swamiji is first giving us the jnana, the powerful truth, and coming us and making this jnana as prajnana, making it as powers and powerful cognitions in our being, so that we can manifest this as a reality in our life. Devika Ranima from Malaysia is saying, Swamiji's will, persistence and continuity is amazing. His satsangs are very inspiring and mind-blowing. Okay, so Andreas is saying, in what satsang Swamiji said this, will be sharing the satsang. This is actually Swamiji shared in the year 2020. When Swamiji is speaking about the bliss dance of Bhagavan Nataraja. And today's program we have designed from that specific satsang. Yes, we can go to the next slide. It's a very, very, very beautiful cognition. If all of us just imbibe this one cognition, that is enough, we'll be liberated. Just this one cognition, the Mukti Tattva, I will not feel stuck no matter what. Just this one cognition is enough. This can literally liberate us from all the problems. Whatever problem you may feel, okay, my boss is not cooperating, my boss is stopping my promotion, and my relationship is not going well, my career is going down, my health is going down, I don't have enough wealth to do what I want, I feel stuck everywhere, the only thing I feel is feeling stuck, I don't know what else to feel. Even wherever you are, today the message, a very clear message from Bhagavan Nataraja, manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, don't feel stuck. Intensely do action. If you feel stuck in one aspect, one project, take 10 other projects, 10 other things, and continue that action. And here, Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff reveals the ability to stand for what you believe and break free from the past method of function is intensity. The past attitude, the past functioning, the past way of functioning. Previously, let's say, for example, you really work hard and you really wanted to get a promotion, you really worked hard and you know that nobody has put an effort more than you, and you are very successfully delivered much more than what you committed to your manager. But your manager chose to give promotion to somebody else. You have two options. Typically, the way we do is, what is the use? Even if I work, I'm not going to get promotion. Who cares? I think better let me spend more time with my children than work like this useless company, useless boss. Why should I work? If it reduces your action, then you are moving towards a life negative direction. How the Supreme Pontiff will respond? Intensify your action. Intensify. How much more I can contribute? How much more I can do? How much more I can do? Take Because when you intensely do, you expand. Why would you allow your boss to shrink you? Continuously expand. Yes. The ability to break away from the past way of functioning and live in a new way is what the Supreme Pontiff calls as intensity. So we have Priya Premananda saying, it's so inspiring how Swamiji taught me how to be ferocious with my powerlessness, how to micromanage my inner space. Dancing through life in oneness with Swamiji is the most exquisite form of existing. Beautifully said, Priya Premananda. And that is the real message. Just dancing through life, doing the Ananda Tandava and not allowing anything to stop us. So I request everyone, this powerful cognition is extremely liberating. Just one truth, if you cognize, nothing can stop your success in life. And you will literally dance through life, and you will really not feel external situations as the obstacle for your growth, which is what typically makes us powerless. I really want to do, but my situation is not conducive, my boss is not conducive, my spouse is not conducive, my children are not cooperating, my health is not cooperating. We have 100 reasons why we cannot do what we want to do. Nataraja doesn't bother about anything. He says, I will continue to perform the dance, whether the anklet falls or is there or I don't care. I am an absolute perfectionist, but I will not let that stop my action. That is the message we have from Bhagavan Nataraja today. And I invite all our viewers to intensely participate as you cognize this truth. How do you cognize? And where in your life do you feel this as a solution to help you move forward? You can respond in the YouTube live chat. Now, when there is no intensity, you will be doing the same thing again and again and again. So if you see that you are just doing the same type of work again and again and again, be very clear, you are not intense. You are just dragging on your life. Doesn't mean you are intense. You may be putting 20 hours a day, but you'll be doing the same work morning to night, same thing for the last 1 month. If you're doing that, be very clear. That is, you need to focus on your intensity. So I'm not saying every day change your job. In the same job, you can be much more intense. Intensity means deep passion and passion. Deep passion and deep patience. Strong will and strong prayer. Strong will is passion. Deep prayer is patience. So that is what is intense. Having the intensity to do what you want. The moment, yes, this is another very important truth. Please listen. The moment you start thinking about productivity, you are stuck. In Swamiji's own words, he says, Swamiji reveals, it's not that I don't think about productivity, but my perfectionism about productivity never stops me from doing it. The very example I gave, you really want to experience, like you want to be productive and you want to grow up in your career and move forward in your career path quickly. Okay, so you really put a lot of effort and you do a lot of research and you work like extra hours because you really want to achieve something and you're very positive that yes, it's going to happen. However, for whatever reason the boss does not recommend you for the promotion and he actually says, you know what, I'm not happy with the way you're working and this is much more is expected of you. That's it. You are put off, you say get lost with this job, get lost with this boss. Either you quit your job or you say, you know what, this is what you're doing to me after I put all these hours. I will show you how bad I can be. And then from then on, you start resisting, you start fighting. Who's the loser? You are the loser. So whenever you think about productivity and you put action towards productivity, that will actually stop your intense action. So here Supreme Court says, my perfectionism about productivity, I wanting to be productive, never stops me from doing it. So even if you are really wanting to grow up in your career, or you want to have a breakthrough in your career, but if it only expands you, that is perfectly fine. But at any point in time, due to any situation, if it's going to stop you, oh, I put all my effort, but I'm not getting it. What is the use? Let me just relax and let me at least enjoy my life, and let me just be with my children. If that reduces or stops your pace, then you are whenever it stops you, then understand very clearly, then you are not being intense, you are not moving in a life positive direction. And that is the main message. The Supreme Court of blesses us saying, be Nithya, eternal, continue to dance. Nothing is a wrong decision. If your whole life is seen together, other than the feeling of being stuck or being stuck itself, as long as you are flowing, nothing is a wrong decision. That is the beauty of life. So very, very, very important. Here, Swamiji gives a very bold statement here, a very broad and a bold statement. Swamiji says, nothing is a wrong decision. If your whole life is seen together, other than the feeling of being stuck, nothing is wrong. As long as you are flowing, nothing is a wrong decision. That is the beauty of life. So here, if you just look back into your life, many of us beat ourselves up. Oh God, I did this wrong decision in my life, and that messed my life up so much. I did this, I did that, I made this decision. I should not have thought about this. Yes, here Swamiji says nothing is a wrong decision as long as you do not feel stuck. So here the thing that you need to focus on is, let me not feel stuck. Yes, I did what I did. Let me learn, let me move on. Let nothing in your life stop you from being stuck. Let nothing in your life make you feel stuck about yourself. That is the most important thing. So other than feeling stuck, nothing is a wrong decision. Nothing is a bad decision in your life other than being stuck. Being stuck is the delusion, Tirobhava. It is the only negativity. And I want each and every one of you who are watching us to put this, if you can just go back to the previous slide, just type this statement, internalize and type this statement as a comment in the YouTube chat. Just this one line that the Supreme Court says, if we can just go back to the previous slide, just that one truth. Nothing is a wrong decision in life as long as you do not feel stuck. Feeling stuck is Tirobhava, delusion, that is the only negativity. I request every one of you to just type this as a comment in the YouTube chat. Just go back, Ma. If you can just go back to the 2 slides before, please. Yes, previous slide. Previous slide, please. The previous slide. Yes, thank you. So nothing is a bad decision. Just type this as a comment in the YouTube chat, because I want each of us to internalize this powerful cognition. Nothing is a bad decision in your life other than being stuck. Being stuck is the only negativity. So please type this as a comment in the YouTube chat, or the Facebook chat, whichever platform that you are watching us. Just type this online as you analyze. Yes, Bhakti Vizya has typed, nothing is a wrong decision in life other than being stuck. Just go back to the previous slide once, please. And we are going to be pausing in that slide for every one of you to just comment in the YouTube comments. As you are listening to this, be very clear. You are not going to beat yourself up saying, oh God, I messed this up. I made this very bad decision in my life. I'm suffering the repercussions of it. I don't think I can never come out of it. No. As long as you don't feel stuck, nothing is a wrong decision in life. So just take a moment and type this as a comment in the YouTube chat. Nothing is a wrong decision in life other than being stuck. Yes. Just take a moment, type this as a comment in the YouTube chat. Nothing is a wrong decision in life other than being stuck. Okay, so we have one of our YouTube viewers asking, so if I eat all bad junk food, is it not a bad decision? Here, understand and realize the message is nothing is a bad decision other than being stuck. So if you're just stuck and you're not changing the decision and you're just stuck in that mental setup, of course it's going to affect your health and that is going to impact you. But you do not, when you say a bad decision, when you feel, yes, for you, the question that you're asking, you feel eating junk food is a good decision, so why should I change? So as long as you don't feel it's a bad decision, here this situation doesn't apply. But if you feel it's a bad decision, then the only thing that you need to do is not feel stuck that I made a bad decision, move on. Continue on in your life. Do intense action. Continue. Don't feel stuck because you made a wrong decision. I hope that answers your question. Nothing is wrong. This one powerful cognition can liberate us from every guilt that we have. Because many of us beat ourselves, criticize ourselves, or feel powerless in the face of the decisions that we have done in the past, or things that have impacted our lives. Here, Swamiji, the Bhagavan Nataraja, in the manifestation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, completely liberating us. Nothing is a bad decision in our life as long as other than being stuck. So now we are going to enter into a very important internalizing exercise. We can move to the next slide. Yes, nothing is a bad decision in my life other than being stuck. Next slide, please. So now we are going to enter into an internalizing exercise. What is an internalizing exercise? We are going to look back into our lives and we are going to see where all am I giving this reason. When I look in where all do I feel stuck in my life? And what is the reason am I giving for not taking action? See, so many of us want to do many things, many projects, many things. We are so enthusiastic, like positive, we start. But when we hit a roadblock, we feel stuck. I don't know how else to do. I don't know how else to improve my business. I don't know what to change. We feel stuck. And we stop there. We don't do anything beyond it. We can go to the next slide. So now we are really going to look back into our lives. See, the best example to see in this is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And we are going to be sharing about the the Atma Pramana, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has exuded and radiated this one tattva throughout the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. If literally we have to condense the autobiography of the Avatar in one line, in 2 words, it is the Supreme Pontiff never felt stuck or never was stuck at any point. Whatever may be, relentless persecution, assassination attempts, and the sealing of the monasteries, the exile from the country, the illegal cancellation of citizenship, the character assassination, hate speech, whatever, nothing would stop Swamiji from reviving Kailasa. Today, we are all proud citizens of the only Hindu nation in the world which has been represented at the United Nations. The voice of 2 billion Hindus has reached the United Nations thanks to the relentless effort of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. How? In spite of 10 plus years of relentless persecution, in spite of being exiled from his own country, in spite of the illegal citizenship being the cancellation of his citizenship illegally, in spite of being illegally arrested multiple times, lawfare, hundreds of cases, character assassination, hate speech, you speak about any facet of persecution, Supreme Pontiff said we can write a book on how he was persecuted in that aspect. In spite of that, today, single-handedly, the Supreme Pontiff has revived Kailasa, the only Hindu nation in the world, and protecting Sanatana Hindu Dharma as a seed bank for humanity. Why? This one powerful cognition. Never Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism felt stuck. Nothing could stop Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from doing his mission, from continuing his mission. So let us now internalize and see how we can free ourselves from being stuck and radiate that space of intensity. So I invite each and every one of you to please take a notebook and a pen. It's a very, very, very powerful exercise. This one exercise, if you do sincerely, can liberate you from all issues of feeling stuck in your life. So take a notebook and pen. And we are going to do this assignment. We can move the internalizing exercise, please. Take a paper and a pen and write down 10 places where you are stuck in your life. Close your eyes and look at it. Where you felt you were not able to proceed or move things in your life. It can be situations, people, past experiences. Please pen this down. All the dimensions in your life where you are facing stuck today. Like today you feel stuck in all these dimensions. When I say stuck, you mean your life is not expanding in the dimension. It's a status quo or you're shrinking. Anywhere where it's a status quo, it is shrinking. Unless you are continuously expanding, you are feeling stuck. Right? So if it is the same job, the same type of work, same thing, same actions you are doing over and over again, it's the same thing every day, that means you are feeling stuck. So take a pen and a paper and pen down 10 places where you are feeling stuck. And why you feel stuck? Who's the reason? It could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be lack of resources, it could be, let's say I want to start a business, but I don't have the capital. You are just stuck in this for the last 10 years, you want to start a business, you still haven't started a business because you feel I don't have the capital. I'm working on the capital. For the last 10 years, you are saying the same thing. Or, I want to buy a new house. I want to buy a new car. And last 2 years, you are saying the same thing. No action has been taken towards it. So pen down all the aspects of your life where you are feeling stuck. Or you want to, let's say you want to lose weight. One of the very common reasons where we all feel stuck. We keep saying we want to lose weight, eat nicely, don't go to the gym, sleep nicely, and keep saying I want to lose weight. And you feel stuck. And then you feel so powerless. I tried so many things, nothing is like getting me to lose my weight. Whatever it may be for you. Or you may be somebody who's sincerely trying. You tried all sorts of diets, you tried Nirahara, you tried gymming, you tried walking, but your weight is not reducing for whatever reason. Right? That is also whatever category that we fall into. Just look in and see, where do you feel stuck? If just one internalization, if we do it sincerely, today when the darshan happens, Swamiji will just completely remove the root of feeling stuck. Swamiji always says, when you work on your incompletions and identify as incompletions and keep that is enough, I will remove them. Don't identify them as a core existence or a core quality of you. You are not that. You are not the quality or the pattern of feeling stuck. So the minute you separate yourself saying, okay, I am separate, this is my pattern, this is my incompletion, Swamiji can remove it. Swamiji will completely remove the root of it during the darshan today. So let us identify and keep the trash as a trash. Don't make the trash as a part of your house. So what we are doing in this assignment is looking in, sincerely looking and identify where all you give reasons. Anywhere you give reason, any reason it may be, however valid, justified it may be. I tried everything, nothing works. The minute there is a nothing works is there, you have not tried it. You are feeling stuck. So pen down that these are the dimensions of my life where I am feeling stuck. In the wealth dimension, there are in the health dimension, in the relationships dimension, in just in just completion. Sometimes you feel like I'm not at all able to reach the space of completion, or I really want to do sangha work, I'm not able to do. I've been wanting to become a Sarvajñapita Yajaman for last 5 years, I'm not able to take an action. I want to be my own boss, but it is not working out. I really want to just retire early and be at home, but I have so many other responsibilities. I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I feel stuck. Wherever you're feeling stuck, please pen down. Let's take the next 2 minutes to do this. And if you have any questions, you can go to the YouTube live chat. Under the live video, you will see the live chat option. If you have any questions about this, or if you want to share anything, the internalizing assignment itself is personal. You don't have to put that in the YouTube chat. But if you have any question, you can definitely pen down. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. We can just go back to the previous slide. Just write down 10 aspects where you are feeling stuck in life. Please quickly pen down. As we have this time, we'll have to get ready for the darshan. So quickly pen down 10 aspects in your life where you're feeling stuck. And why do you feel you're feeling stuck in those dimensions? For each point, analyze what is causing you to feel stuck. Is it your relationship? Is it your boss? Is it your I don't have money? It is a lack of resources. You don't have energy. Your health is not cooperating. Your mind is not cooperating. Whatever may be the reason, please pen down. Let's take the next few minutes to do this. Please look in and write down without editing. You are not going to share this with anybody. You are not going to show this to anybody. This is between you and Bhagavan Nataraja, our Supreme Pontiff. So just between two of you. Look in and sincerely write down, because today the darshan can completely remove this pattern from you. And the minute this pattern is removed, you will see nothing can stop. If the Supreme Pontiff's lives are the other, we can say nothing can stop the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from manifesting this vision and mission. So nothing can stop you from doing what you want to do. That is Bhagavan Nataraja. That is the unending cosmic dance, the unending Ananda Tandava. So let's take the next 2 minutes to write down. to feel stuck? What are the 10 aspects in your life where you are feeling stuck? And why you are feeling stuck in those dimensions? Go to the previous slide, please. The second internalization question can be projected now. So I hope all of you have attended to why the 10 aspects why you are feeling stuck, 10 aspects where you are feeling stuck, and why you are feeling stuck. Now let's go on to the third question. The third question is, let us internalize all the blind spots. What is causing you to feel stuck? Really look at and having a mature conversation with you. How about anybody else? Just with you. Sit with you and talk. Okay. This is where I am feeling stuck in life. What is the reason? What is causing me? Is it my boss? Is it my irritation? It is my lack of confidence in myself? What is really making me feel stuck? And identify, have a mature conversation with you, and identify what is making you feel stuck. What was so far till now? What was your blind spot? Because you never looked in and asked yourself this question. Because we are so busy pointing fingers outside. Oh, this person didn't support. I don't have these resources. I don't have the ambience. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the intelligence. I am not smart enough. I don't have all the money that my father gave. I don't have such a huge inheritance. I have a lot of commitments. I can't stop work. I can't do this. We have extremely good valid reasons, but that is not going to help us. So really you can ask yourself. Swamiji can give 1 million valid reasons why the mission should not happen. All of us have seen the amount of relentless attacks on Swamiji. Relentless attacks, unbelievable. To an extent where Swamiji had to leave his own monastery, which Swamiji has built with his blood and sweat for 20 plus years. Swamiji had to do. But today, Swamiji has built a Hindu nation for all of us. If Swamiji had to give reasons for not doing, there are million reasons why Swamiji should not be doing, in spite of having nothing to achieve, being in the spirit of Paramashiva, coming down to planet Earth with absolutely no purpose for himself, but for the subconscious breakthrough for humanity. There are so many reasons why things should not happen. Swamiji is interested in making it happen. Nothing can stop the Ananda Tandava. So instead of looking at outside situations and reasons and resources for you feeling stuck, look in and identify what aspect of you do you really feel stuck.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Now, when we do this process intensely, internalizing all the blind spots, just identify the blind spots. Even if you just identify, yes, this is where I'm feeling stuck. Then when you do this process intensely and identify these blind spots, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Darshan today completely removes all the blind spots and blesses us with the Ananda Tandava, where we are able to continue to progress in life without feeling stuck. So now let us understand the deeper revelations that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given, and actually the best way we will understand this particular principle, the Mukti Tattva, is when we look at the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which we'll be moving on to in the next segment. So please do stay tuned, because when you just look at Swamiji's life, every aspect of Swamiji's life is just this, never feeling stuck. Now, following is the powerful cognition that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revealing to all of us. Feeling stuck, really breaking from feeling stuck, is the essence of today's segment. The Vidya means recognizing where you are stuck and breaking from it. A strong, pure, ferocious decision to reinvent yourself. I will not feel stuck no matter what. Whatever may be the external situation, it cannot make me feel stuck, is the powerful cognition that Bhagavan Nataraja is blessing all of us today with. Such a beautiful concept. Feeling stuck and breaking from, literally really breaking ourselves from feeling stuck, never feeling stuck, constantly moving on. And a strong, ferocious decision not to feel stuck is the Mukti Tattva, the liberating principle that Bhagavan Nataraja is revealing to all of us today. And all of YouTube viewers, I wanted each of you to maybe share a line. If you listen to this powerful cognition, for how many of you, you really felt, yes, this is it. It clicked with you. It felt like, yes, this one liberating principle that I learned today can really help me re-strategize and re-look at a lot of aspects of my life where I felt I can't move forward. I felt, yes, now, yes, this is exactly where I was feeling stuck. Now I have gotten the click. Swamiji has given me the click. How many of you felt like that? I want each of you to please respond in the YouTube live chat, in the YouTube comments, and just being actively participating and engaging and internalizing these truths can go a long way. Even you commenting in the YouTube, engaging is a way where you're looking in and asking yourself this question and you're responding back. So it can really make you internalize these truths much better. So how many of you really felt like, yes, this concept really clicked with me today? I think I got the solution. I got the answer for what I was looking for. One of the viewers earlier on in the session, this is exactly what I needed. You know, how many of you felt like, oh God, yes, this is exactly what I need. This is the click that I needed to move forward in life. Nothing can stop my Ananda Tandava. So kindly respond in the YouTube live chat under the YouTube live video. And if you're watching this, ensure you have liked, clicking on the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, which is just click on subscribe and subscribe to the channel. And if you are not yet a member, you may not be able to access the YouTube live chat. So you can become a member of the channel and be availing all the various events and programs that we have exclusively for the members and various privileges. One such privilege is being able to directly respond in the YouTube live chat and put your prayer request during the darshan and having your prayer request directly being blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So you can join us as a member under the YouTube live video. If you click on the join button, you will join us as a live member of the channel. Okay, so we have Heidi Ma is saying, yes, this concept really clicked with me. Beautiful, Ma. And so many of our viewers are really feeling that, you know, that shift, that click that happened with this mukti tattva, the liberating principle that Bhagavan Nataraja shares. Now, how? Let us learn how the very concept of the cosmic dance and how Bhagavan Nataraja continues to perform the bliss dance, and nothing can make Bhagavan Nataraja feel stuck. Let us see how. A very beautiful concept. The concept of the cosmic dance. What is the real concept behind the cosmic dance? Okay, so we have another YouTube viewer, Heidi Ma, saying, I am reinventing myself. Beautiful, Heidi Ma. This is exactly the mukti tattva. The very understanding liberates. The very listening liberates. There is no meditation. There is no technique. There is no practice. No. The very understanding leads to liberation. So, Paramashiva, the Paramashiva Tandava of the cosmos, its perfection is because it doesn't get stuck. Stop feeling stuck. Start dancing. You will start manifesting powers. That is the key message to all of us today. Stop feeling stuck. Start dancing. So as we witness the cosmic dance of Bhagavan Nataraja, Bhagavan Nataraja tells us, not just I am dancing, you should also dance. Stop feeling stuck and start dancing. Beautiful. And we have Yogi Jnana Ananda, one of our YouTube viewers from France, is saying yes, yes, and yes. Let me start dancing my way to life. And see, understand, it is the binary logic. Binary logic means the logic which is what we learn, what we use in our day-to-day life, the societal logic, which makes us feel if I do this, I can't do this, I can only do limited things at a time, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling stressed. It is the one which teaches you, if you want to be perfect, start late after preparing everything. Oh God, so many times we don't even start thinking, oh no, I want to do it the best way. And we'll have a very beautiful reason. Swamiji calls this as a pious fraud, this very attitude. You will not do, but you will not do giving a very valid reason. No, I want to do the best. So that is why I'm waiting for everything. You will never start, but nobody can make you realize that you are not starting because you have a very beautiful justification. I want to do the best. I want to be perfect. I don't want anything less than perfect for me or for Swamiji or for Sangha. I will only do the best. And giving that reason, you will never start. So that is binary logic, which makes you feel, okay, I need to have everything to, let's say, even if you want to do a YouTube live, even if you want to start a business, you say, no, I don't have enough. Let's say you want to cook food and serve, or you want to start a catering business. Today you can start. If you get one order in the call, you can phone, you can cook and serve. But you say, no, I don't have a board. I don't have, my visiting card. I don't have all this. I don't have a business phone number. Without all of that, how can I start? A business means you should have a shop, you should have a phone, you should have this, you should have that. All you need to do is just talk to somebody who wants the food order, who can give. But you make it so complicated, saying, no, I don't have all these things. How can I start my business just like that? I don't want to do one day and collapse the next day. It will never be like that, but you will never start. That is where we are all stuck. One of our YouTube viewers saying, I wish I never forget this truth. And this is we have Kripanidhi Ayya is also saying this is a Mukti Tattva relevant for me. I feel the urgency to reinvent myself. Yes, it is the truth that hit me. Lakshmi Ma is also saying, so many of us are able to relate with this truth, and you will actually see as you are doing the Ananda Tandava of Bhagavan Nataraja, and as you are witnessing the Ananda Tandava, this Mukti Tattva, this one concept can really liberate us. Okay, now we learned about binary logic. I give an example of a catering where we go into catering, we want to do, you can just actually do the job now. But you will say, no, I don't have a board, I don't have my visiting card, I don't have a business phone number, I don't have this, I don't have that. Or you would have actually gotten a call, somebody saying, would you be able to cook and give? And you can actually cook and do, and you could have started. No, I don't have people who will help me. For 5 people to cook, you don't need any help, but you will not start. This is exactly what is binary logic. Multi-dimensional logic teaches us that only the action you do will reach perfection. Do not give up on perfection, but do not stop action. A perfect example, embodiment of this line is Swamiji. Swamiji will never give up action, never stop anything from starting, but he will never give up on perfection. He will keep doing as he is doing continuously. Swamiji will keep improving, like getting us to perfection, and getting us to perfection. So, Chaya is also commented saying, I have been feeling stuck. I'm not I feel like, feeling stuck, feeling that I'm not a good mother, which is not true. It is just that I'm expecting a teenager son to behave like he was when he was in his pre-teens. Yes, beautiful. So many of you are able to connect with this truth. So many of you are able to relate with this truth and start applying it in your life. Devi Kama from Malaysia is saying, yes, I feel stuck because I fear taking more responsibility and I have commitments towards family. This cognition will give me expansion. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Bhagavan. So the Supreme Pontiff says, always be like Nataraja in Ananda Tandava, not being bothered about one anklet falling, not bothered about some musical instruments less. Let Ananda, let Nithyananda be your fuel. Constantly moving forward, not feeling stuck, constantly progressing forward in life, constantly involving yourself in intense action and moving forward in life is the lesson and the powerful cognition and the truth that we all need to learn from this Mukti Tattva, the cosmic dance of Bhagavan Nataraja. Such a beautiful concept. Swamiji says, start the cosmic dance. This is the principle the Supreme Pontiff has been teaching us. Always manifest the ultimate. Don't feel stuck. But no, it is very clearly, it is not final. You will move, you will take an action, but that is not the final. You will perfect that. You will perfect that. Keep on perfecting, 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 perfecting. But let that perfectionism does not stop us from taking the first step. Both should happen simultaneously. That is the message of Bhagavan Nataraja. That is what Bhagavan Nataraja teaches us. Exactly. So Malik Kimti from Singapore has also messaged saying, my understanding is start doing what you want. Perfection will come as we move along. Absolutely, Malik Kimti. That is exactly what somebody is saying. What you can do today, do today. Don't stop doing action today because you are not able to do it perfectly. Do what you can do today. Tomorrow, perfect it. From where you are, take it to the next step. Day after, perfect it. From where you are, take it to the next step. As you keep doing, keep perfecting. That is what the exact message. Absolutely, what you're saying is true. Yes, Sonal is saying, I feel stuck when I'm not able to heal my constipation and hearing, and I'm not able to have a good career. Sonal, the message for you from the Supreme Court of Hinduism is not in terms of your career, in terms of your whatever action you need to take, keep taking action. In terms of your health, keep taking action. Keep moving next step. Keep doing towards it. Don't feel stuck and sit. Keep doing things towards, moving towards what you want, and you will see. And not just these three, not just your career or health. Take 10 other projects and do. As you intensely do, something will break and the feeling stuck will be removed from you. The Supreme Pontiff again and again reassuringly tells us, if it stops your Ananda Tandava, it is only feeling stuck. Only if you stop the Ananda Tandava, you are stuck. Don't stop the Ananda Tandava, the cosmic life. All your actions to manifest the state, space, powers, being, Sri Kailasa or Paramashiva, which is in the form of health, wealth, relationships, career, enlightenment, success, mental health, happiness, whatever you think as your cosmic dance, go on continuing. I just feel like I'm reading the autobiography of the Avatar. No, I don't feel like I'm actually sharing the powerful cognition. I actually feel I'm reading out Swamiji's life. This is all Swamiji's life is about. Every aspect of Swamiji's life is continuing, going on and on and on and on. Don't stop. Nothing could stop the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from enriching the world with this divine passion. Nothing could stop Swamiji. So here when Swamiji says continue the dance, intensify the dance. If you are Yes, this is another powerful cognition. If you are feeling stuck, intensify the dance, it will disappear. Typically, the binary logic tells us, if I feel stuck, I slow down. Oh, I don't know what to do. I have tried everything. We slow down. We restrict ourselves. We shrink ourselves. What Paramashiva does is, when if you have a concept of feeling stuck, of course, Paramashiva never feels stuck. He only intensifies the dance. So intensify the dance, intensify your action, intensify what you're doing. The feeling stuck will disappear. If you slow down, feeling stuck will become stuck. What actual feeling you have will become a reality for you. You will actually get stuck, and it is dangerous. So this is another powerful cognition we should understand. Whenever you feel stuck, solution is intensify the dance. This is what we call as powerful cognition. Powerful cognition means what you use as a strategy to decide your response to some situation in life. If some situation in life makes you feel stuck, what is the strategy? What is your response? Let that response be from a powerful cognition from Swamiji, not from your patterns. Typically, we feel frustrated, irritated, powerless, and we stop the action. Here, Swamiji says, be intense. Yes, we can go to the next slide. The one thing that the Supreme Pontiff Arunagiri Yogeshwara has made in my DNA is continuity. Eternally continuing. Stop the stopping. Never stop. Continue. Yogeshwari Rajagopal has commented saying, yes, I feel stuck with my kids. Have done so many things so far to improve their speech and ability, but no such improvement. But I am still holding on the hope that Swamiji will heal them completely. Absolutely, Yogeshwari, today you can pray to Bhagavan Nataraja to heal them. And at the same time, like you said, that you're already doing, continue. Whatever things that you can do from your side, whatever actions you can take, continue to take that action, and you will see the children automatically, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, they will experience a shift in their lives. So the essence of today is the powerful honor, the Tandava of Paramashiva tells us to continue. Be eternal, Nitya. Hold on to this powerful cognition as we all prepare ourselves for the darshan today. This is the powerful cognition. Continue. Never stop. Stop the stopping. That is the key tagline for today. Stop the stopping. Stop feeling stuck. Stop feeling stuck. Stop being stuck. And continue intense action. And as Swamiji says, if you feel stuck in one project, take 10 other projects. Continue. Nitya, be eternal in your action is the solution for all of us who feel stuck at some dimension or in some aspect at some point in our lives. Now, in the next segment, a very interesting segment, we are going to share with you about how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism never felt stuck in his life. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, whatever happened, whatever be the external situation, Swamiji kept moving forward. So, in the next segment, we are going to be sharing with you about how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is radiating this particular principle after a very short break.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda
Perfection. He is an absolute perfectionist, but when he dances, he doesn't wait for the perfection to happen to start his dance, nor does he stop the dance because the perfection is not there, though he is an absolute perfectionist. When he is dancing, the perfectionism does not stop the dance of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Now, let us look at the Ananda Tandava performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Now, if you actually look at the life of Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at every moment has continued the cosmic dance, and we are actually going to be sharing with you the narration by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has performed the Ananda Tandava, the cosmic dance. We can move to the next slide. The Ananda Tandava. Now, how, see, in the last segment, we learned about the significance of not feeling stuck. Why, how we should not feel stuck, continuously get into action. And that was the Jnanapada, right? Now that was looking at the Pramanas directly from the Hindu scriptures, how Bhagavan Nataraja signifies that. Now we are going to look into the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Atma Pramana, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in every situation in his life, in every situation, whatever Supreme Pontiff was faced with, in every situation, Swamiji did not stop the Ananda Tandava. Swamiji continued the action, continued the action. Now, how the whole mission of Kailasa started, when Swamiji experienced his avataric mission, and when the avataric mission was revealed to Swamiji in the year 2000, 9 months of great pause, where Swamiji's body was completely in samadhi, Swamiji could not speak. He could not do even his any of his functions. Like Swamiji could not eat or he could not use the restroom. Swamiji's body was just in that highest space of samadhi for 9 months. And on the Amavasya, during the Deepavali time, on that time during the Deepavali, first time Swamiji was the words came out of Swamiji's mouth, which is Anandamaga Irangal, be blissful. So in the year around October 2000, and at that time Swamiji did not have a place, Swamiji did not have any possessions, no people, no money, no place, nothing. And in Swamiji's own words, Swamiji said, when I started this whole Sri Kailasa project, I did not even have my own land. So here you see the first available photos after realization of the Avataric mission. Swamiji hardly had just 2 pieces of cloth. And this is Swamiji in Tiruvannamalai. Did not have anything, did not have a property, did not have people, did not have resources. Swamiji started. That did not say, oh, Sri Kailasa is a huge Hindu nation. I have nothing in my hands. How can I start? Let me get people, let me get the land, let somebody give the property, then I will start Sri Kailasa. No. Sri Kailasa is a huge Hindu nation. It is a multi-billion-dollar project and it involves, it needs so many people to be a part of it. But Swamiji single-handedly, with no people, no money, no resource, started the whole Sri Kailasa project, did not wait for everything to come by for Swamiji to start. Here you can see the first available photos of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism after the realization of the Avataric mission. How the Supreme Pontiff single-handedly has started the Sri Kailasa mission. And this was in the year 2000. And in the year 2001, one of the devotees, actually Swamiji says, from that time my life is recorded till this moment, uncompromising. I never stopped bothered about anybody. And I had a chance to interview one of the early 10 devotees who was with Swamiji around the year 2001. And at that time Swamiji was staying in a hotel in Salem. And this devotee was along with Swamiji, along with about 3-4 other devotees. And at that time, Swamiji was just walking in the park near the hotel. And Swamiji told them that we will be creating a Hindu nation. Swamiji doesn't have a place to stay. Swamiji is staying in a hotel. He doesn't have any disciples, doesn't have any money. That time, Swamiji said, we are going to create a Hindu nation in the year 2001. And at that time, Swamiji also said, we will be having our own currency. These are the reminiscences shared by a devotee who directly heard it from Swamiji in the year 2001. Swamiji said, we will have our own currency. And one of the, devotees at that time around Swamiji asked, Swamiji, how will the currency be? Will it be like $1 or a pound? Swamiji said, no, it will be a totally different currency and it will be the #1 currency in the world. And Swamiji has released the podcast, the Kailasa's currency, just last year Swamiji released. So here we see from the time Swamiji's life is recorded till this moment, uncompromising, never stopped, never bothered about anybody. Now, in Swamiji's own words, the Supreme Pontiff reveals, people who live around me, they know how a perfectionist I am. But my perfectionism never stops me starting new projects or venturing into new projects. If you have lived around Swamiji, if you have been there in any of the programs or any of like an Adinavasi or a Gurukul Balasantas, we know every day it is new. Every day the Swamiji starts new projects. Every day Swamiji gives new visions, continuously expanding. And the Supreme Pontiff reveals, maybe at the age of 3 or 4, I remember the first satsang I started. The first satsang is the grace of Maha Ganapati on the Ganapati Nambianda Nambi story, where Swamiji heard the story of Nambianda Nambi, and Swamiji gave a satsang. And just after listening to that story, Swamiji was so, so moved by that. And he said, if Ganesha listened to Nambianda Nambi, he should listen to me also, and he should accept my food offering. And Swamiji had the Asamprajna, the Samadhi experience by the Bhagavan Ganesha, receiving the food offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism just at the tender age of 3. Here you can see Swamiji at the age of 3 and the Ganesha who accepted the food offering made by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, from that time of the age of 3, from that time, whether it is a small group of friends or family or a large lakhs of people, filling halls and convention centers in various places. Swamiji continued to do. Here you can see a picture of Swamiji in Tiruvannamalai. Swamiji organized a trip to Tiruvannamalai for all the brahmacharis and the swamis of the Ramakrishna Math. So Swamiji took all of them to Tiruvannamalai and took them on a beautiful pilgrimage and Girivala around the hill. And here you can see Swamiji along with the four brahmacharis of the Math. At any point in time, there is only one thing about Swamiji: never stopped, never felt stuck, continued the dance, continued the Ananda Tandava. So whether it is a small group of friends or it is a large lakhs of people filling huge convention halls. Here you can see the Kailasa Hall in Coimbatore, where people are flocking to have the one glimpse of the Kalpataru Darshan of the Supreme Court of Hinduism in the year 2009. You can see how thousands and thousands of people just rush in to have the darshan of the Supreme Court of Hinduism. So whether it is a few group of friends or lakhs of people coming and having the darshan of Swamiji, one thing never changes. Swamiji never stops. Continues the Ananda Tandava. And here you can see how thousands of people just rush to Swamiji. And whether it is thousands or whether it is two people sitting with Swamiji in Ananda Sabha or one person sitting with Swamiji in the Laughing Temple, Swamiji continues to remain the same. He continues to do. Here you can see the Bhagavad Gita Satsang delivered in Chennai. Lakhs of people flooded the hall. Here you can never see the end of the ground that people are sitting in. In any direction you will see masses of people. And every person, whenever Swamiji gives a satsang, always Swamiji gives darshan. And every single person sitting in the crowd would come near Swamiji, receive the darshan. Until the last person receives darshan, Swamiji will not get up from the seat. Swamiji will be sitting, doesn't get up, doesn't take any break until every person who has come for the satsang has received the personal touch of the avatar. So, here you can see the Bhagavad Gita Satsang delivered in the Pachepas College open ground in Chennai. So whether it is the Kailasa Convention Hall in Coimbatore or the Pachepas College in Chennai or the Raja Sabha and Ananda Sabha in Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita, here you will see a very, very beautiful clip in Ananda Sabha in Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita, where Swamiji is sitting and giving the vision of how Swamiji started this whole revival of the Kailasa. And just with a few handful of people, Swamiji is revealing this vision. Let us watch this very interesting clip.
அப்பெல்லாம் தண்ணி பார்ப்பேன், எல்லாம் பண்ண வேண்டாம். ஜாதகம் பார்ப்பேன், கைரேகை பார்ப்பேன், இல்லைங்கய்யா? கைரேகை பார்க்கறது தான் அந்த கிளாஸ்டா. சித்த வைத்தியம் சொல்லுவேன். மிளகு தின்னுங்க, லவங்கம் வச்சுக்கோங்க, சித்த வைத்தியம், கை வைத்தியம் மருந்துலாம் சொல்லுவேன். வாஸ்து பார்ப்பேன். ஐயா அது வாஸ்து பார்க்கறதுக்கு போவேன் வேறங்கய்யா. வாஸ்து பார்ப்பேன், எல்லாம் பண்ணுவேன். மிஷின் ஆரம்பிச்சப்போ யாகம் பண்ணுவேன். அது ஒண்ணு விடாம ஜனங்களுக்கு அத்தனை சர்வீஸும் பண்ணுவேன். வந்தா போதும் அவனுக்கு அத்தனை எத்தனை ஒண்ணா எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு போவாங்க இல்லைங்க. ஜாதகம் பார்த்துட்டு, ஹீலிங் பண்ணிட்டு, வாஸ்து பார்த்துட்டு, தண்ணி பார்த்துட்டு, சைக்கிள் முன்னாடி உட்கார வச்சுட்டு போவாங்கடா. சைக்கிள் முன்னாடி உட்காந்து நான் போய் ஹீல் பண்ணிட்டு வருவேன்டா. சைக்கிள் பின் சீட்டில் உட்காந்துட்டு, அந்த கேரியரில் உட்காந்துட்டு போய் ஹீல் பண்ணிட்டு வருவேன். இப்போ அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் காரில் போய் ஐசியூ போய் ஹீல் பண்ண ஆரம்பித்தேன். இப்போ எங்கேயும் போக முடியாது, இருந்த இடத்துல ஹீல் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம். அவ்வளோதான். சைக்கிள் கேரியர் முன்னாடி உட்காந்து போவேன்டா. ஆமாண்டா, உண்மையிலே ஐயா வந்தப்பறம் கூட போயிருக்கேன். ஐயா வந்தப்பறம் சைக்கிள் முன்னாடி கேரியரில் உட்காந்து போவேன்டா. ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போய் ஹீல் பண்ணிட்டு வந்துடா. தண்ணி பார்க்கறது, வாஸ்து பார்க்கறது, ஜோசியம் சொல்றது, வேற என்ன, கைரேகை பார்க்கறது, இல்லைதான் எல்லாம் யாகம் பண்ணுறது, தாயத்து கொடுக்குறது. தாயத்தெல்லாம் கொடுப்பேன், தகடு எழுதி தாயத்தெல்லாம் கொடுப்பேன்.
நான் பேய் விட்டுறேன், புதையல் இருக்கிறது விட்டவே, அதுக்கெல்லாம் இட்டு போவாங்கடா. ஆனால் எவனுக்கும் நான் பார்த்தோன்னே சொல்லிட்டேன், இது எக்ஸ்ட்ரா இருக்கிற புதையல் இதை எடுக்க முடியாது அப்படின்ட்டு. ஏழை சொல்லிட்டேன் இந்த மாதிரி, எக்ஸ்ட்ரா இருக்கிறதுனால இந்த புதையல் எடுக்க முடியாது, எடுத்தீங்கன்னா உயிருக்கு ஆபத்து அப்படின்ட்டு. அது கிடைக்கவே இல்லை கடைசி இருக்கு. தொடாதீங்க வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு, தொட்டா உயிருக்கு ஆபத்து இருக்கு. கடைசிக்கு அவனால் எடுக்க முடியல. ஃபஸ்ட்டு சாமி டிசைன் பண்ண கார்டு, சாமியை டிசைன் பண்ண நம்மளுடைய விசிட்டிங் கார்டு பார்ப்பா. இந்த ரெண்டு தான் இருக்குமா, வேற இருக்குமா? எடுத்து வந்து அந்த டைமில் ராமகிருஷ்ண தியான பீடம் ஈரோடு டைமில் யூஸ் பண்ணி கொடுத்தது. இந்த ஈரோடு கார்டு வை பண்ண, ஈரோடு டைமில் போட்டு கார்டு வை, 2 கார்டை வை.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Such a beautiful video. Just I'll give a translation because the video is in Tamil. Swamiji, I was saying that, how he started the whole revival of the Kailasa. Swamiji used to do everything from astrology to palm reading to, to driving away the ghosts and, removing the black magic to Vastu, Vastu Shastra, giving the Vastu solutions to people, everything. Swamiji said, when I started, and Swamiji used to sit in the bicycle seat. Somebody used to take Swamiji in a bicycle and Swamiji used to heal and come. Even that Swamiji has done. Swamiji has gone in a bicycle to somebody's house, he has healed them and come. And people even used to invite Swamiji to unlock the treasures, like any treasure that is hidden in the house or in any place when they know, they take Swamiji and they have asked Swamiji to help them unearth the treasure. And Swamiji is revealing that the people, that one of the places that Swamiji went, it was an egg shop. He said that don't take the treasure because if you take out the treasure, it will actually be harmful to the life of the person. So he said not to take out the treasure. Swamiji has done everything. He says, I used to go to people's house and heal. I have even the ghosts, removal of the ghosts, removal of the black magic, and Vastu, astrology. Swamiji said, I have done everything under the sky. Right? See, today we know Swamiji as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa. But when Swamiji started single-handedly, with nobody actually, with no people and no financial resources, no infrastructural resources, nothing could stop the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from doing intense, continuous action. That is what Supreme Pontiff's life is all about. And the Supreme Pontiff says, understand, as long as there is continuity, there is no down for a graph in life. Only with that discontinuity, the graph falls. As long as there is a continuity, there is no down. It is only up, 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 and up. So the only down in life is when you discontinue, when you stop the action. And here you see the earliest photographs of, as in Swamiji's words, Swamiji says, the earliest photograph of my work available. The first public function that Swamiji conducted at the age of 11 in the year 1989 was the Ganesh Chaturthi festival, where Swamiji collected the funds from people and he did a beautiful Chandana Alankar, the sandalwood paste decoration to Lord Mahaganapati, and called all his friends and whoever was there at that time, called everyone, and all of them together celebrated the function. Here is a beautiful Ganesha decorated by the Supreme Pontiff, and on the right side you see the Ganesha under the banyan tree. Even today the deity is there in the Tiruvannamalai temple, where Swamiji organized the first public function at the age of 11. So whatever Swamiji had, right, at that time, you can see that it was a thatched hut. Nothing was there, but nothing could stop Swamiji. Yes, we have one of our YouTube viewers commenting, nothing could stop Swamiji. Absolutely not. And in Swamiji's own words, Swamiji says, my volunteer team, maybe the first batch of Kailasa was his. Some without upper cloth, some nose running, Some applied vibhuti itself as a face powder. With a small team, conducted beautifully the Ganesh Chaturthi, the Vinayak Chaturthi under the banyan tree in the Tiruvannamalai temple. So it's not like Swamiji had great efficient hands then, nor he is having a great efficient hands now. It is whoever comes. It is just everybody Swamiji takes into the divine mission, and he manifests through us, and he makes it happen through us. And that is how the whole Ganesh Chaturthi festival started, with just few boys here and there. And it's not like they all greatly contributed, but how Swamiji brought everyone together and successfully conducted the first public function. Nothing could stop. It is not that Swamiji didn't have his friends who were efficient and who knew the mantras. No. Whoever was there, whatever was available, let me do the best of what I can with what is available, is the message of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for all of us on this very special Arudra Day. The message is, do not be stuck. If anything, nothing is a bad decision other than being stuck. Being stuck is the only delusion, the only tirobhava, only negativity. And the Supreme Pontiffs of Hinduism's life is literally an embodiment of this truth. Nothing can stop the Supreme Pontiff. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started traveling around the world when he was just 25 years of age in the year 2003, with a clear vision of establishing Kailasa, the enlightened civilization and the greatest Hindu nation. And the first place actually Swamiji landed was in Chicago. Just like how the great sage Vivekananda, went and first landed in Chicago. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also went to Chicago. And here let's watch a short clip from the first discourse that Swamiji gave in Chicago, the first program conducted in Chicago.
After this book, they say 80%. The signing rate is 80%. Such a tremendous new opening is done by few doctors, but very thoroughly they have done a study. And very critical study also. Never think the bias views, very critical study. And in the study they reported the mother, she may be in India and child may be in America, but if
it all started. No, Swamiji doesn't have a great simhasana. He doesn't even have a big chair. Swamiji is just sitting on a raised platform, and Swamiji is giving these discourses, and Swamiji is giving these satsangs. And in the year 2003, we can just go back to the previous slide once. How the entire mission of the Supreme Pontiff happened, and as Swamiji went to the United States, how the very travel to the United States happens. It's a very beautiful, interesting incident. And how when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, there are so many reasons we can all give for feeling stuck. But if we look at the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's life, there is only one thing that we will all learn, which is never feel stuck and continue to do. That is the message that we want. We can learn from the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And here, if you see the first discourse in Chicago, just a simple mic, that's all. 3 pieces of cloth, 1 Rudrakshamala, and 1 mic. That is all Swamiji had at that time. Today, yes, Sumasans, and we have LED screens, and we have the holographic videos, everything. But the way Swamiji started, Swamiji didn't wait for everything to come and everything to be recorded. There are so many discourses of Swamiji which were not recorded because there were no people to record. Now there was no place to record. There was no place to even store the recordings. That is how Kailasa started. Today, we are proud to say that Swamiji has revived Kailasa as a sovereign nation with its own sovereign territory, with its own sovereign land. And we are representing the voice of 2 billion Hindus in the United Nations. It all started with whatever Swamiji had, not feeling stuck and continuing to do. And it was when Swamiji started the mission from the year 2003, there were attacks by the anti-Hindu elements. The anti-Hindu elements realized what Swamiji could do, the potential of Swamiji much more than the Hindus themselves. And here, if you can see, we can put the next slide. How the anti-Hindus relentlessly continued their attack and continued the persecution on Swamiji. Swamiji says, in 2003, seeing the way I am beginning my mission of reviving Kailasa, they attacked me. They did not stop me. In the year 2000 itself, we started identifying islands to revive the whole Hindu nation, to revive Kailasa. And there were actually a lot of media articles at the time saying, Swamiji is looking for an island way back in the year 2007. And Swamiji revealed the vision in 2001 itself that we will be having our own land and our own nation. Now, seeing the way Swamiji's mission is beginning and the mission of reviving Kailasa, the anti-Hindu elements attacked the Supreme Pontiff. They did not stop. And the continuing attack in terms of illegal arrests. Swamiji was arrested 2 times illegally, and absolutely no base, and a lot of false cases, hate speech, character assassination to the extreme. 14,000 hours of hate speech in the media. More than 100 assassination attempts on the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hundreds of temples, monasteries, Paduka Mandirs, satsang centers being broken and closed. All this to the, as a result of the attack of the anti-Hindu elements on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the attack is multiple. Attacking the sannyasa, attacking the Gurukul, attacking the temple, attacking the very life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Actually, in the year 2007, we started, in Swamiji's own words, he says, we started doing a very serious work of identifying islands to start revival of Sri Kailasa. And before the Hindus could understand the great contribution I was going to do, the non-Hindus smiled. They smelled the plans and they wanted to somehow stop. And multiple assassination attempts on Swamiji's life. So, and here you can see the visuals of the very residence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being burnt with the Supreme Pontiff locked inside his own residence. And this was being live telecasted on a national media channel in India. So here if you see how brutally, so much of attack, there are so many reasons why Swamiji would have said, you know what, all these attacks are going on, I'm going to slow down my mission, or once we have our own place, I will start. No, nothing could deter Swamiji, nothing could put a stop to what Swamiji was doing. Even the assassination attempts, even not having a place to go, even not having a food to eat, nothing could stop Swamiji from doing what Swamiji was doing. And here you can see the very living quarters of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being burnt with Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism locked inside that quarters. And this is being live relayed on national television channel in India, very proudly saying it is a live coverage. The live coverage of the assassination attempt of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being aired in the national television channel in India. And you can imagine. And here we are going to show you how the whole ecosystem in Adi Kailasa Sarvini Pita, following the persecution, how the whole ecosystem was attacked, how the monastery was attacked, how everything in the monastery was literally burned down to pieces. And here you can see the anti-Hindu elements in such a rage and anger, just barging into the monastery and destroying the monastery, destroying the whole spiritual ecosystem developed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. How the monastery itself is being attacked. They just barge in. There is absolutely, the police is standing, but the police is not doing anything. The anti-Hindu elements just barge into the monastery, break the banners and tear up the banners and break the windows and open the doors and behaving extremely abusively to the women in the monastery. It was extremely abusive to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And what they are doing, completely destroying the monastery. Here you can see one of the anti-Hindu elements barging into the monastery and breaking the windows and throwing away the pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And let's have a very brief overview of the persecution that is happening to the Supreme Court of Hinduism.
They systematically delegitimize and exterminate. Lawfare, assassination attempts, character assassination of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Attempted assassination and assassinated Kailasians. Sexual assaults and rape of female monks of Kailasa. Objectification. Character assassination. State-funded child abuse and sexual abuse on the children of Kailasa.
Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then they showed me a picture.
State-operated embezzlement of funds, properties and assets donated by the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the purpose of the revival of Kailasa. Since 1994 up to until now.
Around Supreme Court of Hinduism single-handedly has today revived the Hindu nation, and we are able to raise our voice and present what is happening to Hindus at the international forum for the first time. We are able to do that. So I hope you're not able to hear me. I hope I'm audible. Oh, looks like they're not able to hear. Oh. So sorry for the technical glitch. I hope you're all able to hear me now. Extremely sorry for the technical glitch. The multi-level attacks, the assassination attempts on the Supreme Pontiff, assassination attempts on the disciples, and not only attempts, even destroying the property. The anti-Hindu elements tried everything, but nothing could stop the action. Nothing could stop the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from taking action. That is the core message of Bhagavan Nataraja. And in the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, thank you, Celine. So, in the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, these demons, they attacked my ashram and they burned the properties. They attacked my sannyasis, abused them. This is the most violent demonic attacks on Hindus in recent times, what the anti-Hindu elements have done to Supreme Pontiff and his disciples. After the attacks on the Kashmiri Shaivites, the Kashmiri Pandits, the attack on our Sangha is the most violent in the recent past. Lawfare, media hate speech, continuous hate speech through media, everything possible in all multi-levels. The attack happened on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So the main message that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares with us today, with the grace, of course, with the grace of Paramashiva and the protection of Kalabhairava, we are continuing the work of Sri Kailasa and making it happen. So the Ananda Tandava, the Supreme Pontiff, continues to perform. Swamiji says, always be like Nataraja, doing Ananda Tandava, not bothered about any anklet falling, not bothered about some musical instruments less. Let Ananda be a fuel. Let Nityananda be the fuel for your life. So continuing to perform the dance in the Ananda Tandava. And all this while we are being attacked. Absolutely, Madhur Jyoti. One of our YouTube viewers is saying, Swamiji did all this, it's true, and the demonic abusers have attacked them all levels. Absolutely not. Every level they have tried to attack, nothing could stop. Nowhere Swamiji felt stuck in being able to do what Swamiji promised to do. That is the main message of today. And many of us, see, whenever we learn a powerful cognition, immediately when you put that into action, that powerful cognition that you receive becomes a part of your muscle memory and biomemory. Now, many of us who are sitting here, I'm sure how many of us want to be a part of Kailasa in some way or the other? You want to contribute to time, talent, treasure. You really want to be a part of Kailasa. Today, the only Hindu nation and who has, we have reached to the limit of the UN and being able to represent the voice of 2 billion Hindus at the United Nations, being, having diplomatic relations with many countries, having our own sovereign land. And every one of us, I'm sure, wants to be a part of Kailasa. Now, all of you can respond in the YouTube comments. How many of you would like to really do and be a part of Kailasa? And many of us will say, okay, I want to be a part of Kailasa. I want to be a founding father of Kailasa. I want to be a part of this divine mission of Swamiji. I want to be a Sarvini Pita Yajaman. I want to be want to join this whole mission of reviving Kailasa. And today the message that Bhagavan Nataraja shares with all of us is, don't feel stuck. Take action. Now, when we take an action, see, many of us may want to contribute our time. We may want to volunteer our time. Many of us may want to contribute our talent, our skills that we have. Many of us may want to contribute our treasure. The key aspect here is, when you want to do, take action immediately. When you take action immediately, you go beyond the aspect of feeling stuck. Okay, so we are going to take an action immediately, and we are going to be right back with you after a very short break, and I'll be explaining to you how taking action really helps us move forward, really helps us break the feeling stuck attitude in our lives.
Paramashivoham.